What's up, everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of the Affairs of the Heart After Show. It is our anniversary. Okay, all right. I tried. So I'm your boy GQ, G Weezy, and we are gonna bring in the cast as we always do. SoDebNair is here. EzSaidEzDone is here. It's our anniversary, guys. Welcome.
Hey, what's going on?
Anniversary.
Yes. I don't know about y'all. I've been singing this song all day long.
I put it on a little commercial on the podcast thing today.
I don't know. Is it our anniversary or our birthday? Like, how do we? Because I was kind of conflicted. I didn't know which was which.
Our birthday is kind of like before this because we kind of started preparing for it before the actual day.
True. Very true. Very, very true. For those of you that are just rocking with us for the first time, welcome to the Affairs of the Heart After Show. This is our after show podcast. Our regular podcast comes out weekly, and then we do an after show, usually Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But it's a special night tonight because it is our 1 year anniversary. Just a year ago, me and Aaron got together and had a baby, and we called it the Affairs of the Heart After Show. And we're not going to talk about who carried. We're not going to talk about who got inseminated. We're not going to talk about any of those things.
I can tell by the hips.
You can tell by the hips, easy? Okay. Well, we clearly know whose hips are bigger than whose, so we'll just go with that. But this is what has been birthed out of our... See, the shade side eye, I saw that. This is what has been birthed out of our podcast. And we honestly could not be more happier with the outcome, with our fans, with the turnout, with everybody that's on. Really quickly, before we get into the conversation about our 1 year, just make sure that if you are watching us on Facebook right now, that you give Facebook permission to show your image and your likeness and your comment. There's a link in the description. Just click that link. It says StreamYard/Facebook, I believe it is. Click that link to give them permission to show your likeness and your comments, because we want to hear from you guys. We want to hear how the show has impacted you, how our podcast has impacted you, what your thoughts are on our first 3 seasons, because we've had 3 seasons in 1 year. Hey, listen. And what you want to see from us next year, what questions, comments, and we have some special guests in the house too, so we'll bring them in just a minute. But Aaron, I'm gonna toss it to you. It's our anniversary. Happy anniversary, friend.
All right. I feel like that first season should be called like something else though. Because it was only like 5 episodes. It wasn't like a real season.
I mean, it was a trial season. It was like a trial and error, like
our trailer.
Like we don't know.
That's your pilot run.
Yeah, our pilot.
Right. We didn't know what the hell we was doing. I was just telling the story to our guest. I said, we literally recorded it in this room, in this space, right here on my bed. Yeah. We recorded our very first podcast.
Oh, you had a camera, a tripod at the bed?
No. We used our microphones. We just did the podcast part.
Yeah, we didn't have the video part yet, and we had hooked them up to Dwayne's bed. That's right.
We hooked them up to the bed. Aaron was like, "Well, what do you think? How long should it be?" And I'm like, 30 minutes, because I didn't know what a podcast, how long it was supposed to last. I'm like, nobody's going to listen for more than 30 minutes. Little did I know that I was completely wrong.
That's not right, Dwayne, because I listen to podcasts, but I've never heard of a 30-minute podcast ever.
I mean, I'm thinking, hey, who knows? What did I know? I don't know everything, apparently.
Well, I was telling someone today, I was like, it's so funny because this really came out of nowhere. Well, it didn't really come out of nowhere. Actually, I was doing my radio show, and we were working at a station where I didn't think that being able to have these kind of conversations would really mesh well with that station. And so I was like, you know what? I want to do a podcast. And Dwayne had already been on my show, my old show, many of times. We've had a lot of great conversations. So I was like, I know who to call. I was just hoping his schedule was going to work with it because Dwayne's a flight attendant. And I was like, this may work because, at least we can record or pre-record some or whatever. It didn't really matter. So Dwayne didn't really give me a lot of flack at all. He was like, let's do it. Let's talk about it and let's do it. So that's what happened. Have I ever told you where the name came from?
I think it was a segment from your radio show, right?
Well, it was that, but the actual name, the name comes from Girlfriends.
Of course it does.
when Joan was going through it with that guy, and Mike kept saying, or some of her affair of the whore.
She called it affair of the whore.
The whore.
Her whore. So
I always call my relationship segment affairs of the heart because of that.
So we've evolved. If you're on YouTube, you've seen that our YouTube channel has grown exponentially. But we used to do recordings in my apartment. Where we would do the podcast and then record content for YouTube, which was a pain in the ass.
Yes, it was.
It was honestly a pain in the ass because we just talked for 3 hours and then you want us to record some visual content for YouTube. So it was kind of crazy.
Those are fun though.
They were fun because they were kind of like spare the moment, but it was a lot. It was a lot to do. And so we decided to just kind of hop on, figure out other ways to engage and include our YouTube audience as well. And then that's where EzSaidEzDone comes in, because then we added a third and everybody's jealous because they were like, well, we want to be on the show with y'all. How did he get a permanent spot?
And I'm just a guest. That's it.
No, you done made it to billboards and flyers, but you're not just a guest.
You on the flyer, sir. I mean,
you on the flyer.
But
I have people in my inbox now.
But Easy, just really quick, tell everybody how it's been for you being a part of our live shows on Thursdays. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
It's been fun. I've enjoyed it. I have socially known Aaron for quite a while now. He's been in my group. He's always jumped on many of my posts and voiced his opinion about things. So when he came to me and asked me would I be a part of his live podcast, live podcast, that is, I don't know, why not? So it's just, we're just living our social media lives out loud.
Basically.
So
I think this has really been a fun journey for me because I've had a lot of shows. Most of them don't last a year. You get a few good months, and then everybody falls out, or something happens with the station, or whatever happens. Something happens. But this has been so fun because it's been so easy to do. And a lot of times, like Dwayne, I love Dwayne so much because I'm like, Dwayne, we have nothing to talk about today. One's like, let's just talk. Something to come out of it. And like literally, like a lot of our podcasts are like that. And I think the other part I really love about it is like when we first started this podcast, I was going through so many like entanglements.
All right, Jada.
And Dwayne had to sit there with me while I melted down on the podcast.
Listen, I ought to, you know what? I should be certified as a therapist by now, just for the hours that I've given to you alone on listening to your shenanigans. And we always knew when it was going to be an Aaron episode for our podcast because it was always, a very heavy concentrated. Well, what about this situation? Well, okay, clearly Aaron is going through something because.
Remember that time we did that video? I called you. We need to do a video right now. The video was about, but then when I got over there, you made it sound. I felt so dumb. I was like, "This is really kind of like we didn't need to do this."
Oh, that was the mukbang video.
No, we never released that.
A mess.
Listen, Aaron has tried. We've done so many things in this year. Aaron was like, we need to do a mukbang video. We need to eat while we talk. They getting all of these likes and all of these followers because they eating these crab legs.
I like those videos. I watch them all day.
So I decided, okay, I'm gonna go to Juicy Crab. I'm gonna get us some crab legs. I'm gonna make this a whole because this is what he wants to do. Ask Aaron where the video at.
Don't ever release that video. I don't even know why those videos.
It was a mess. It was an entire mess. Like we couldn't figure out how to have a conversation with the food at the same time.
I was like, this does not work. It doesn't work.
But I watch those videos like all the time. So I was like, for the YouTube channel, let's try to do something. And it just didn't work. But
it didn't work. But we've
attempted to do a lot of things to just make sure that the people, and I think our biggest, if you can tell me if this is wrong or right, I think our biggest thing was trying to figure out the audio and the visual people.
Trying to cater to both audiences. You're absolutely right. And Aaron was always like, well, we need to do something for those that are visual. And I'm like, just put a video up. I don't know. Shit. I don't know.
Then we finally started doing this, and I think this works.
This works out very, very well. So we are grateful for everybody that has become fans in this short year time. I'll call y'all family, and we call you heartbeats. We are really grateful for the heartbeats that we have for this short period of time in this year. I want to shout out our family in Houston, Wes and JP. They listen to us faithfully, and so we love you guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Like when I'm out, people will come and be like, I'm a heartbeat. I'm like, for what? Y'all really be this word? But they be saying, it makes me feel so good though, because I'm like, these are real, true, dedicated people to the podcast. And it makes me feel amazing because sometimes I don't even think that you understand how many letters that I get after the podcast, whether it's the audio or it's the live that I get afterwards about just stuff that we have said. I try to share a lot of it with you, but sometimes it be a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I try to share a lot of it with you because it's so. This is the only reason why I really wanted to do like any kind of broadcast, anything, was just to share my life and hope that someone was getting something from it.
Yeah. I think, and for me, it has really broadened my ability to understand the necessity for these types of conversations in our community. Mm-hmm. Right? We don't see successful Black gay men talk about anything, and granted, successful is subjective to anybody who understands what that means. But at the end of the day, I think for us to have real, honest, pure conversations about our experiences or things that are actually happening in the community, it didn't really dawn on me until I did the interview with Rainier and Sue that this was this platform for us was a way for people to just have honest, open, and upfront conversations about sex and relationships from a Black gay male perspective.
And I was glad I got to catch that while you were on there.
Say it again.
I said I was glad I got to catch that while you were on there because the more that they talked about it, the more I was like, we is smart, we is important.
Yeah. So there are a lot of people that don't like it because we talk about real raw, nasty things that they may not be able to get with, and that's totally understandable. But the reality is that if you don't understand it, there are people in our community that are having these experiences, that are having these interactions with each other, and we are the ones that should be having these kinds of conversations for them. For us, we didn't have the internet growing up. We didn't have the trial and error. We did everything through trial and error. And so the purpose, in my opinion, for this, all the errors, honey. But my purpose or my design for this podcast has been just so that we can have an open and honest conversation to say, hey, somebody's talking about what I just went through. Somebody's talking about my experience. Somebody's talking about, my dick dripping. What do I need to do about that? Like, these are things that are necessary. Listen, these are things that need to be discussed, because at the end of the day, if you don't have anybody to talk about it with, then you're just gonna walk around dripping, and that's not good.
That's true.
That's not good.
We never talked about that though before, have we?
I think we have, actually.
It just threw me off real quick. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. What's up, Damien?
Hey, brother.
So you want to bring our guest in?
Yeah, are you ready?
I'm ready if y'all are.
You know what? Okay, before you do though, what's great about both of these guys are they are big. They are important parts of this podcast, and I didn't even really think about that.
They are.
All them on here, like they're both big parts of our podcast. So.
They are. You want to introduce our first guest, and then I'll introduce the second one,
especially visually.
So the first guest that we have, his name is. I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. I know his real name, but trying to pronounce the Twitter name. I think it's IQ_alarm.
That's right.
Okay, but I met.
You supposed to have that locked down before we air.
Well, I mean, right. So let's not give me this much energy, okay? I mean,
somebody's sensitive tonight.
But me and we've had a lot of conversations, a lot of things that we talk about. Sometimes, like we talk about a lot, and so it was just kind of funny because one day I was like, I want to use this picture for one of our flyers because a lot of our stuff. I think this is when we started doing like the YouTube stuff, and I realized like the more sexual stuff was picking up, and it was drawing attention to the podcast. So I asked him, could I use his pictures, and he said yes. And so he's been basically kind of like the face of the podcast. But
no, he hasn't been the face.
I've never seen the face.
He's been more of the ass and the dick of the podcast. But hey.
whatever. He's been the cover feature of the podcast.
I missed that letter. I missed that flyer.
But we appreciate him just the same. Are you done? You want me to bring?
I was like, you're supposed to bring him in while I was going.
Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't say, ladies and gentlemen. You're the worst. IQ is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi, how you doing? Hi, how's it going? I'm blushing a lot because I didn't really think of it the way you put it out there, because I guess I am the ass and dick of your podcast.
He is because all we have seen is IQ's. Can I call you IQ? Is that okay?
Yeah, you can.
Perfect. All we have seen is IQ's ass and dick. That's it.
What I call you on the podcast is my man crush.
That's true.
You do. I've heard that before, and that flatters me a lot, because I feel like when you do things that are overtly sexual, or when you put yourself out there like that, people just think that you should be objectified. But I think that it is really nice when someone says they have a crush on you, because that seems more genuine than an instant, let's say, dick reaction, So that flatters me a lot. Thank you.
And I think that that too because of our conversations that we had.
Yes, of course.
So.
I think that, and I think that one of the things I love about your posts on Twitter especially is that I can't read the comments. I won't make it.
You won't?
I was about to say, this is getting a little deep.
You won't. Listen, I'm gonna tell you now, IQ. You won't make it if you read the comments. So leave it to me. I'll just post them for you.
Oh, wow. Okay. And I was drinking, which was not something I should have done, but okay, we'll make it. So yeah, like when I see your comments or your statuses on Twitter, what I like about them is that they're very provocative, and what's the word I would use? You love to poke and probe. Like, so you'll say something that will get people, or it will get a reaction. And that's what I love, because that's who I am by nature. I will say something and leave the room, and then come back to see what fire has started since I made that shitty comment. So, not a really shitty comment, but that comment. So I really I think that's one of the things that draw us together.
All right. Well,
you can keep going if you want. I'm just playing.
Oh, we can.
Are you ready for the next guest?
Oh, are you ready for me? Is it my turn? Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure, This next guest is somebody who's not a stranger to the show. He has been on our podcast before, but he is also one of the most popular people on social media. He's gonna kill me for saying that, but he is one of the most popular people on social media that I know. And he just so happens to be my cousin. So Kels Tatted Up is in the building. We're gonna welcome Kels. What's up, Kels?
What's good, everybody? Hope everybody is doing well. Aaron, that was so funny when you said part of the digital part, because I remember when you guys came to my house, because I also took the pictures for you guys. I remember that day.
That part.
I can't believe it was like a year ago, because I feel like it was like 6 months ago. The year has flown by. Like, that's so crazy. And you guys have done so much.
Because we actually took those pictures in July, I think.
Yeah, like we literally had the conversation at Joe's, and then like that next week we were at Sharif's shooting the photo shoot for the podcast.
Yeah,
that's crazy. It's been a year. You guys have done an amazing job. Brought a lot to the table, and I'm just amazed by it. Like for real. So congratulations on the first year.
Thank you. I think the funny thing is that when we did the photo shoot with Sharif, our goal was to make it look like me and Dwayne may be dating or something, right? Because we knew that was going to bring some attention to whatever was going on. So for a while, that's what people were thinking. Like, I mean, my inbox was blowing up. Like, oh my God, like I didn't know you was in a relationship, and I'm like,
there's no romantic history between you two.
No,
we're just friends.
No, there's no romantic history.
I was one of the many that I guess thought that.
Yeah, we have been friends for years.
Since like 2013.
Yeah. So it was interesting because,
and now you bring Easy in, so everybody thinks that y'all a threesome now.
Right. No, Easy.
Or anybody who follows me already know.
Struggles are the future.
My followers know how I get down.
Baby, Easy said, and Easy is done. That's it.
We don't have time for that.
That is it. But everybody, I think our dynamic has been absolutely great. I think it has been wonderful having Easy a part of the family.
It takes us out of our podcast element for me. Like when we come on, it's not like we're repeating what we said on the podcast. And then I guess when Easy's on, like it kind of throws a monkey wrench in whatever we kind of even thought about on the podcast. And kind of
I'm the more conservative one out of the bunch.
I think Dwayne is.
I was about to say, no, friend.
Oh, because some of these stories that have been told through here,
they're probably my stories.
They're all Aaron's stories. They are all Aaron's. They're all his stories. But yeah, we've had some great topics, some great conversations. You guys have written in and wrote some amazing things and allowed us to have conversations surrounding your situations. We really love that part. I think, at least for me, that's my favorite part, is to hear other people's stories hashed out on our platform. The episode that you came on, Sharif, do you remember what that episode was?
I don't remember the details about it. I just remember that Aaron was real strong about his point, and I was strong about my point. And we was like, yo, cut.
I think Booty Cat was birthed out of your episode.
It was.
I think that is that correct, Aaron?
I think we were already saying Booty Cat, but I think you enhanced it.
Because it's such a good word.
What'd you say, E?
How does one enhance a booty cat?
No, the word, like, I mean, I think I was saying it before that, but when Sharif came on, like, we couldn't even say it without Sharif falling out laughing, which made me say it even more, which made Sharif say it even more. So we had a whole episode of just saying booty cat.
At the end of the day, I have no idea what the episode was about because it was so funny and it was so fun. But Aaron, once you put your foot down, you ain't no changing. Like you just like, I said what I said, fuck what you gotta say because I done said what I had to say. So I was like, yo, I'm taking my hands off of it.
I don't remember what the episode was about either, but I do remember that though.
I think one of the unique things about our platform is that we can agree to disagree for real, and still love on each other and still respect each other. And there's no animosity between any of us when we don't agree on something. But we do have valid points when it comes to what we don't agree on, or if we do agree on something. We all come from a variety of different walks of lives and paths. And so my experience may not be Aaron's experience, but that's what makes us unique. And that's what makes this platform work so well, because we concede to each other in regards to what we know and what we don't know.
I don't know if Dwayne told you, but they was writing in after you left.
They were. I actually got into an argument with somebody on Twitter over you. I don't think I ever told you that. I got into an argument, and I don't argue with people on social media. That's just not my. It's not necessary. Like, you don't have that kind of power over me. But this one dude was like going in about you and the episode and how what Aaron said, that's that on that. And I mean, like, he was just going in, and I was like, who the fuck are you? Like, it was just,
but you know that taught me something though. Honestly, it taught me that even though like we didn't agree on something, maybe how to kind of control it for me when we have other people on the show, because I don't want people to be like, picking a side when people leave the podcast. Like, yeah, I guess like I never really understood that people were listening at that time, because we were still kind of new.
Very true.
So like when that happened, I was like, Dwayne, they're writing us.
You made it.
Yeah, like, ooh, people are making news, bro.
Yeah, like, and they were upset, and I'm like, no, I had to write letters back. Like, no.
That's right. I completely forgot about, like, we had some really avid listeners.
Yeah.
Whom like utilized the platform for their work environment, and like it was an LGBTQ organization, and they were just like, we were just not pleased with the way that you guys conduct. It was a whole thing. I completely forgot about that part. I was talking about our fans, but who knew?
But I mean, coming into a full year, like, those are things that we've learned this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, we learned a lot, and I think like even when we had the guys from is it Everybody Straight? What is it? Hold on, I said that wrong. Everybody's straight.
Everybody's straight.
Everybody's straight.
No, they ain't.
Y'all keep going. I'm gonna tell. Oh, here it is. Everybody's Straight guy's favorite gay guy.
Mm-hmm.
We were saying that. We were saying, when we first started, it was a totally different dynamic, because we were kind of just starting. We didn't really know. We were like, we're just gonna be free. We're gonna talk about all this stuff, and then we got like 2 or 3 months in, and we're like, what are we talking about?
Because we've talked about everything. That's everything. We've talked about so many platforms, and I mean, we've talked about so many topics rather, that sometimes we're like, well, wait, have we talked about this? Well, what did we say? Let's talk about it again, because I don't remember what we said. Like, it has been that kind of thing. But we've actually, it's the interesting thing is every time that we talked about a topic that we've already discussed, we find something new in the topic anyway. So it's been real interesting.
Let me say this: the topics are what grasp you, because it was something about vagina on my timeline, or pussy on my timeline, and I was just like, but then it was a picture of you, IQ. I was like, how is it his dick, but it's pussy on the timeline? Like, I was just like, I don't get it, but I need to listen so I can figure out why we talking about pussy on the timeline. Like, I was like, I need to hear this. It was so engaging. I needed to hear it.
Anytime I see pussy or vagina on my timeline, I gotta investigate. Like, where the hell did this come from? I didn't invite this.
But you have to realize, like, even that has been a growing point in the podcast, because the first time we were just naming like everything we talked about. I was naming we talked about what is the top, what is the bottom, how do tops and bottoms work? Should the top do this? Should the bottom do this? Like, it was the whole title. And then I started realizing, like, I gotta pick like a certain thing that we talked about that's going to grab people's attention. Then we started adding IQ's pictures on it. So then it started, like, all this started to bring us into what we're at now. So it's like now, and even like if you see the numbers of the podcast, like, it went from like hundreds to thousands. So
yeah. So
one of the things that you mentioned that I'm really intrigued by, it's how polarizing your conversations can make your followers. So like, you have people siding with you, people siding with Dwayne, and sometimes even coming after your guest based on their opinion. And I feel like that's the thing about social media that I try to stay out of, and just try to give people the pictures, because I don't want opinions. Like, I don't want opinions. Like, social media makes everybody feel like your opinion is valid, and it might be, but it might not be. So I definitely admire how you approach subjects. I admire how you come up with clever content that also makes sure that your readers your viewers aren't just looking at the surface. It actually makes them go deeper into whether it's a relationship thing and have I ever been in that situation or have I ever been that guy? And I like that. I like that because even though it could be polarizing, and I don't think that's healthy, I do like that you are all voices for different parts of the community, because I think that that's what's necessary. Everybody needs a voice as opposed to making the other person agree with your voice. It's okay to all be different and coexist in that space.
And I think like even with the episode you talking about, what like when we said when we posted with the pussy on my timeline, that was maybe like 5 minutes of the whole podcast.
When I tell you that is my absolute, I'm sorry, Aaron, go ahead.
We talked about so much stuff on that podcast, but because me and Dwayne laughed about it so hard, because it really, Dwayne kind of just sparked something into me where I was like, was there pussy on my time? Like, and I was like, I kept saying it. And because Dwayne would stop laughing, I wouldn't stop laughing. And I wouldn't quit elaborating on that I seen pussy on my timeline. Because one, if y'all know, like, I don't want to see no pussy. I'm sorry. I don't want to see it.
Like, do you mean like the picture of it?
I don't want to see a picture, a video, a drawing, a smoke signal. I don't want to see no pussy, period.
So do you feel that it's okay to get an asshole?
A what?
A butthole.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
That's fine. Okay. See, because I'm different. I'm like, if I don't know you, if we never spoke before, why is this the part of you that you feel I need to see? That's how I feel.
Well, no,
like,
this wasn't in my inbox. This was just on my timeline.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like nobody inbox.
My inbox. Yeah, okay.
Well, I'm sure your inbox.
I just outed myself there.
Your inbox off of our fans alone, I'm sure, is a whole situation. However, the funny thing about that's one of my absolute favorite episodes, only because that was one of the days that we were like, what are we going to talk about? I don't know. Let's just talk. And that particular episode, if you didn't listen to the podcast, the situation goes as follows. Aaron does not like vagina, period, point blank, doesn't want to see it, just does not like it, period. And he happened to be scrolling on his Twitter timeline, and I don't want to. I mean, you want to tell them who it was? Can I tell them who it was? You want me to say who it was? I won't say somebody that he is very close to had vagina on their timeline, and you wouldn't expect it from this particular person, but they were eating vagina on his timeline, and he literally had to stop in his tracks and go, why is there pussy on my timeline? But that, and what made it really funny is that I saw it earlier the same, because we follow the same person. I saw it earlier that same day and forgot to mention it to Aaron. So he said it on the podcast, and I lost
revelation came live. Yeah.
Right. And I lost it because I was like, I meant to tell you about this, but now you're having a whole meltdown about it, and it is hilarious as hell. That's what made it so funny. That's
so, and you were laughing about it. It was like that's making it worse.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say it again, Aaron.
I said you just wouldn't quit laughing about it. So that's what made it worse, because like the more Dwayne laughs, the worse I get, because most of the times we're drinking. So it just makes it worse, because I'm like, I'm going in about this right now. I'm like, I can't believe I seen this shit on my timeline. Like, and Dwayne is like dying. I'm like, oh my God. Let's change the subject.
What did you say, IQ? You said something right.
I was asking if that meant that Aaron doesn't at all watch straight porn.
Aaron doesn't watch porn at all.
Yeah, I don't.
No.
Good for you. Good for you, man.
That's not anybody else's testimony. That's just Aaron's testimony.
I admire difference of that stuff.
All right.
I can't relate.
So nobody else can, IQ. That was the point. Nobody else can relate. But
Aaron has more that we've been doing this podcast, so I have been
for research purposes,
basically. But you know what though? I've realized this, that I like the one with the little plots on it, because I want to understand why they was fucking. Like, don't just come on, fucking like
that is me though.
Give me a storyline.
I like a plot. I like a storyline. I like a plot. I like, okay, why is this pizza man really here?
I'm not gonna watch it long enough. I'm gonna fast forward to the part I need to see so I can get done. I don't want to see all that talking.
You know what I would skip is the oral part after they figure out why they want to fuck. I would skip that part and get to the sex.
You skip the oral?
I don't skip the oral. I don't.
I'm not a big fan of that either, but so I mean it's not interesting to me unless it's like the ass eating part. But if it's like the dick sucking part, I want to see that.
I can't agree to that because I don't know, man. There's a rhythm that you have to get into unless you like came in at 10 and you just needed to nut. I feel like the oral helps you get there. Like it helps you get into both people too. It's like I don't know. I don't want to get myself in trouble. But like what I like about the oral is that if the person who is, let's say, given the oral in the moment is doing a good job, it makes you want to be the receiver, and vice versa. So that's why I love the oral part of the porn.
But I need to be there for that.
The meal.
But I want to watch you. I don't want to watch that part. I want to, if I'm doing it, that's fine. But I want to watch that. Like I need to get the storyline into the fucking part. That's it.
Interesting.
I think the storylines be so whack. I don't have time. Let me get to the point I need to get to. What I need to get.
Like some of them do, but that's
I can literally just watch somebody nut and be good.
Right. So it depends. It depends. It depends. Because like, there's also that moment where do you watch porn when you're alone only? Do you watch porn with a partner? Because I feel like there's also different etiquette for every porn situation.
So we've talked about this on the podcast before. One, I'm kind of really turned off from porn because of my ex watch porn a lot. So porn is just not really like something that I actually like turn to be like, oh my God, I need to watch it. I can get off by myself. But two, I guess because I have been a videographer, like I just like the storyline. I don't know. That part gets me on. Like knowing why they had sex turns me on. I don't know. But that part turns me on though. I don't know.
You know what? Like there's something about, and it's funny because I like reading about like perverted encounters. So I guess there's something about the storyline when told well that like I don't know. It gets you going, and I can appreciate that. But I couldn't skip the foreplay. I can't skip the foreplay. That's like.
No, we're not talking about skipping foreplay now. That's
important. Well, the oral.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's a part of it, but that's a whole nother story for another time.
Somebody in the comments says, "Does free Twitter get you off, Aaron?"
There's not really.
I mean, free Twitter is good because it's only like 2-minute videos. So I'm good. Like, that's all I need. I don't need 20, 30 minutes, 2 minutes, and I'm done. Like, I don't need more. I'm good.
It depends on the video.
True. I agree.
What do you appreciate about people like me who put their sexuality out there? Because if free Twitter doesn't really do anything for you, then it is to say
I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm gonna tell you what it is. A lot of it is that it leaves a lot to the imagination, which means I'm making my own storyline up in my head.
You can color in you can color in between.
So what storylines have you made up about IQ in your head?
Oh, that's
I feel like I need a new drink for this.
We're not supposed to be talking about this.
Why not?
Because we probably have already talked about it.
I don't think we have. I don't have it on my roster.
Wow.
I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about me and him.
See, I'm just here for
I can't even think of nothing right now because you just like threw me off guard. You could have asked me before and I could have told you, but I mean right now I can't think.
So question, IQ, do you feel like, do you get offended when people approach you? Because I feel like freak Twitter people or people who are naked online always get mad when somebody approaches them. But I'm like, how can you get mad if your booty hole or your dick is spread wide open on Twitter? So I don't understand that.
That's a really good one. I don't really get offended when people message me for any reason. I don't have to reply to them. If I feel like, if I have the time, like, it's all on me if I do anything after the message. What I have a problem with is the level of familiarity people come with. So it's like, just because I'm naked doesn't mean you get to disrespect me, or it doesn't mean you get to say something to me that makes me feel like I'm entertained. Like, let me entertain you, but you can't ask to be entertained, if that makes sense. You're not, you're not paying for it. Like, if you're on Twitter, don't come into my DMs telling me what you want me to do, because you're one of 25,000 people that probably somehow want me to do something. So to me, it's not, I'm not disrespected by people dropping comments. I'm more disrespected when people give me orders. That I cannot handle. That is the thing that I can't handle.
Can I say something too about like stuff that you post to? Most stuff that you post is more like erotica. It's not freak Twitter stuff. It's not him.
Yeah.
Stuff. Like, it's really like erotica. It's like leading up to your imagination of what you're going to see. And I think that's probably why it attracts me so much, because I have to build a storyline in my mind to like get there. So,
well, I feel like one of the things that for me, the reason I do it is because I like to think I'm like every other human, complex and layered, and I don't want to hide my sexuality. Like, I feel like we are meant to feel like that's a dirty, dark side that you shouldn't ever exhibit. Whereas for me, it's as important as my intellect. It's as important as my creativity. And it might not be something I show to everyone, but I don't think there's anything wrong with showing it. And I think that like I'm an exhibitionist. I love that there are a bunch of voyeurs out there that want to see what I'm showing. But at the same time, there's a respect that needs to happen, because just like everyone else, like, I might like you, I might like your photos, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna blow up your DMs with demands or telling you, I don't know, like, I feel like there's a line where people think it's blurred because they don't know you and you put yourself out there. But yeah, I'm not here to cater to anyone. I'm just here to express.
Ooh. All right. So we got a couple of questions from the audience, and we'll toss them out there really quick, and then we'll move on to Aaron. You want to do topics first, or you want to go to the game first? What do you want to do?
Topics first.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Awesome. So our first question is from What Was Said, who is one of our avid followers. We appreciate you, What Was Said. My question is, what do you see for the show in 2021? Aaron, you want to take that one?
Honestly, I really don't know, because like I said, with me and Dwayne, it's so different because it depends on what direction our lives is in by January.
Right.
Honestly, I think that y'all really get our real lives on that podcast. Like, whatever we're going through at that time, we give you guys that. And like I said, when we first started, I was having meltdown after meltdown after meltdown while the show was going on, and I'm like, I'm posting it, because I mean, this is real. So I mean, those are the things that we were. I think one thing that I did tell Dwayne and I told Edie that I wanted to do was I want to do something where we do like a story time on the YouTube channel, and kind of go through some of the stuff that I've talked about on the podcast, but go kind of in depth in it. So I know with the YouTube channel, it'll probably be more interactive. But that's the only thing I can think of differently that we would do. The website's gonna be different by the time we come back to.
Yeah. And What Was Said, if you have suggestions of what you want to see from us in 2021, we are open to that as well, within reason.
Just don't ask us to do another mukbang.
Oh, because we can't. I mean, clearly that mukbang never made it out of the case. His second question is, would you all consider having us, the audience, call in?
I would love that. And actually, I was telling you today, I was some show I started watching today, but they were doing that, and I was like, we should do that.
We will figure it out.
They use StreamYard,
and people call in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can talk about it in our next planning meeting and try to figure it out. I think it would add a great dynamic.
I think because I've been watching a lot of YouTube channels recently that use StreamYard, there are so many things that we can do with the people that are on here with us. That would be pretty dope. But I mean, that's something we can talk about afterwards. Because last time I was trying to give you a whole bunch of stuff, they was like, "Wait a minute."
Wait, don't do it like that.
About it afterwards, but I do have some ideas.
That's not how it went down.
No, because
I was throwing out stuff. I was like, "We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that." I did that.
Exactly, because what happens with Aaron is that he gets all of his ideas in one conversation, and we all are like,
"We still on live. You got a whole planning committee right now. Like, what is going on right now? We still in the middle of the show."
I'm excited though. I don't be knowing.
He gets excited. We'll give him that. So, all right, we're gonna move on to. You leave Jason alone. Jason just wants Aaron in his space.
What's that?
Huh?
I don't even know what that means.
I feel like I know what that means.
Everybody is good, Michael. What's going on, my friend? So we're gonna go to our topics.
I love him.
Gonna go to our topics for tonight. And our guests, feel free to chime in on your thoughts on our topic. I think the first thing we're gonna do is go to Dear Heartbeats, is our segment called Dear Heartbeats, the letters from our fans. We have a letter from somebody who decided to write in and just wanted to ask us a question. So let's see. It says, Dear Affairs of the Heart, it's me and my boyfriend's first official Thanksgiving together, and we're splitting up 2 separate homes. His mother doesn't agree with the lifestyle, so he doesn't want to invite me. Should I be offended? It's their first official Thanksgiving together, and they're splitting. They're going to separate houses because his partner's mother does not agree with the lifestyle, and so he doesn't want to invite me. Should I be offended? Who wants to take it?
No. If it was year 10, yeah. But like the first year, you just a play on the team at this point. Like you ain't not a standard in the household yet, so don't get offended.
Ooh. I know this situation firsthand, because my partner is 100% from a conservative background. So this is our life. And for we've been together 3.5 years, and I think I only went to Christmas the first time last year. So it is to say that I feel this one deep. I would say, like, I agree with you, Kels. The first year, you kind of have to know your place a little bit. You have to fall back and give it time to evolve. But I will say it's something that you can't relax on either, because you're as important in this person's life as all family. So they can't just be with you and then ditch you during the holidays for the family that aren't really there having their backs, the rest of the year. So like the first year, don't be so uptight, but you need to be there in future.
Easy, you're shaking your head. What you got?
Oh, I agree. I would not be offended. I'm not going to be offended by not being invited to a space that I'm not welcomed in.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's one thing. And it seems like his partner knows already. Like, look, I don't even want you in that space because I already know how my mother is. I know how my father is. Whatever. I'm not going to have you come there and be disrespected. I'm going there out of obligation because it is my family. I do love them at the end of the day. I'm going to go see them, and guess what? I'm going to come back to you. Now, like Kel said, now if we 8, 9, 10 years down the line, we need to have a sit-down conversation. But it's not
I wouldn't wait 10 years for it to happen.
And at the same time, too, it's not like they don't know about him. Clearly, it'd be different if you were a secret. But they know of you, so you know your place. You ain't going nowhere.
But I was gonna say, isn't it also a message when, let's say year 2, isn't it still a message when your partner leaves you at home though? Isn't he sending the message to the family, you guys don't ever need to change. I will just leave my partner aside, and this is habit forming as well. So while I understand the 8, 9, 10 years down the road, I do believe that there needs to be milestones met between big events, because that's the other thing. It's like, hang on, like they'll never accept me if you just keep going over and leaving me out.
Well, I also think after year 1 or 2, you need to create your own traditions at that point. You don't have to go to the family's house. So start creating your own traditions with your chosen family. So therefore, nobody has to be offended, and you can do what you want to do. You ain't got to go to your mama's house because you've chosen friends and family or people who you work with who have become your chosen family. So, I mean, I'm not saying wait 10 years. I'm not saying that. Yeah. But what I am saying is that you can create your own traditions after year 1 to do your own thing instead of going home.
And a lot of times families do come around when you start to do that. When you start to realize, like, look, if y'all can't accept my partner, then I'm just going to stop coming. Right. And like Hill said, we create our own traditions, we create our own holidays, and that's how we celebrate. Mom, dad, whoever will get the picture value. Look, I do want to be in my child's life. This is like, hopefully they get that message and y'all bridge the gap. But yeah.
Aaron?
I don't agree with any of this.
Oh, hell. First of all, the fact that we all gave 3 different little opinions.
I'm going to tell you right now, me and my ex were together for as long as we were. His mother was never cool with it. But we ended up, first of all, it's note-taking time on year 1 because I guess what wasn't put into this story was I asked questions. They had been together for 8 months. So for me, I would have an issue at 8 months if we get to a holiday and you're saying, I mean, can you split up half of the day or something like that? Like, I need to know that you're going to make accommodations for me in this relationship when it comes to holidays, because I don't know if they were living together or what, but 8 months is a long time, especially for gay people to be together. 2, because I've been in a relationship where my ex's mom didn't like me, and she told me that she loved me, but she don't like my relationship. I don't feel like I would give leeway to that ever again, because I don't want to be in a situation where, let's say that he's in the hospital or something, like, do I got to sit outside of the hospital now? Like, those are the kind of things that I'm thinking about because I've been in these kind of situations. So yeah, you gave up Thanksgiving, but now he's sick and he's in the hospital. Something's wrong with him. Mom wants you to sit at home for that too.
That's different.
See,
that's different.
You argued a few of my.
You already gave mom leeway for Thanksgiving. That's fine. But now she wants to have control over this and over that. That's what I'm saying. That's why you have to take notes on how he handles that.
But
that was my argument as well, though.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking 8 months down the line is not long. Gay or straight, 8 months down the line is not long.
It's not long, but that's a long time to be together.
No, we're not even moving in at 8 months.
Let's say they started in January. Let's say they started in January, and they made it all the way to August. September has, I guess before it would have to be before that. Let's say that it was that, to me, I guess because of my love language and how much time we must have been spending together, I don't think that would be a possibility for me.
Okay, I'm just thinking out loud. Like 8 months is not a long time for y'all to make this an issue. Just me. Like 8 months is not that long to make it an issue.
So my partner and I had a.
If you're going to disregard,
IQ said something.
I'm sorry.
I was going to say my partner and I, we had our 6 month point at the holidays. So I agree with you. For me, 6 months is too soon to be demanding a seat at the table. The thing is, he didn't move in yet though, but he was here just about every day. So for me, there's also that element of who the hell do they think is taking care of you, feeding you, making sure that like when you've got the cold, like I'm here. So even though they're not witnessing it, you need to advocate for me. So like while I understand also not going where you're not welcome and creating your own tradition, I'm not trying to ruin a relationship with a family and kind of create a whole new issue. to me, there's a middle ground where the man that you're with needs to be a man and establish that situation where, hey, like it's too soon, 6 months in, but by, let's start going over on weekends, let's do the thing so that like the next big event you can go. Like, I think that just from my experience, I was very much like, what the fuck? Like, you're here, like, I'm feeding you, like, I'm this, like, what do you mean? But realistically, are parents ready to see their son in his bay? Not really. And I think that the man has to be a man and realize that, okay, we need an action plan and this is how it's going to go. But you can't also just sit and let it happen because that's what his mom is comfortable with.
Because you're setting yourself for failure. If let's say that you are together for 8 months. On the 8th month, Thanksgiving happened. Mother took control. Mother said no. Christmas is next month. Then what? Is mother taking control over Christmas too? So let's say, hold on. So say mother takes control over Thanksgiving, Christmas, because y'all have been together for a full year. You waiting. So now year 2 has happened. Mom already feels like she's entitled. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you from experience, this is what happens. If you don't make your partner a part of a situation, whether you let them know when you go over there for Thanksgiving, listen, this is our first year, I don't know, so I'm giving you this. But next year, if we're still together, he's coming over here. Or I have to spend half of the day with him next year, half the day with you and half of the day with him after that. Like, it has to be some ground rules that are going to be set with your parents, because if they're not in agreement with it and you don't start kind of pushing them towards that, they're always going to feel like they're entitled to tell you what you can do for those important days. But those important days are small compared to every day of your life where you had a birthday, you have been sick, you have been going through financial problems, you've been depressed, and now it's important to you. We can't even spend together because your mom didn't want me around. Where was she at on these days when your ass was sick? Or you lost your job and I'm taking care of you. Like, where was she then?
Did she know about it though?
Yeah.
So I think going back to think about that kind of stuff is like, what kind of relationship do you have with your parents?
Yeah.
Where you allow them to dictate that kind of stuff. I'm talking for the 35 and over crowd. Like,
okay,
listen, all that is true, but it's still about a respect part about your partner. Your partner should never feel like they cannot be around you at any point in time. When 300 and what? How many holidays is it? Like
365.
How many holidays is it?
Oh, holidays.
Yeah.
The big ones, maybe like 4.
Let's just say out of 365 days, 300 of these days, I'm taking care of your ass when something's going wrong with you. Or let's just say 100 of those days I'm taking care of you when your parents aren't around. And it don't have to be that your parents are not attentive to what's going on with you, but I'm relying on my partner, period. Because we're together, we're building a life together. It's not about me going home to my parents and saying, hey, I lost my job. Hey, I'm sick. Hey, my partner is there for that. But when it comes time for special days, that's disrespectful to me.
So
for the bad times, you can be there, but for the good days, it's for your family. Like, I don't feel that.
So I think that it all boils down to something that IQ said more specifically. Aaron, I think that your standpoint, you just have an issue with the fact that the person that you're with is not standing up against his family. And that is a greater problem as opposed to who's going to whose house and should I be invited, should I not be invited. That is something that you take up with your partner, not his parents. At the end of the day, his parents have the issue. And if he chooses to stand up again, to his parents and say, hey, I want to make sure that my partner is included. We should be included. This is a person I'm going to be with, for an undisclosed amount of time. So then they are part of my life. They should be included. If they're not included, then we're not welcome and we're not coming. Not, well, I'm going to go and I'll see you later. You see what I'm saying? It is the partner's responsibility to be able to advocate for his partner if that person is the person that he deems to see with him being with for whatever amount of time that you all are together. Now, here's the other thing that you have to take into consideration. At the end of the day, You cannot come in between nobody and their parents. You can advocate for yourself. You can, make as many addendums as you possibly want to. At the end of the day, that is somebody's parent, just like your parent is your parent. And nobody's going to argue you over your mama or your sister, or, because at the end of the day, they're blood. And I think that what we sometimes tend to do is that we tend to think. Now, granted, here's the other. I know y'all got. Let me finish what I'm saying. I'm just gonna talk shit. The thing that y'all have mentioned in the beginning of these comments is that, well, we were together for 8 months, we were together for 1 year. Sharif made a valid point. If it's year 10, then we have a problem. But not for somebody that you just started dating. No. Somebody you just started dating. No, I'm not going to advocate and stand up to my parent for the first 6 or 8 months. If we just started dating, and listen, let me finish my statement.
We just said 8 months.
You said what?
That was 6, 8 months.
No, I said if we started dating and it's just been 6 to 8 months, I'm not then going to cause a rift in my family dynamic just because my mother or my father does not agree. Now,
what about 1 to 2 years?
Now, let me finish my point. Now, if we're getting to 1 to 2 years, now this is the second holiday that we've rolled around. We've been together for a year. They have heard about you. They have seen you. They have seen your, whatever the case is. They've seen you come into the dynamic. Now is when I can say this person has been around. You've heard about them. You know about them. You've seen them. Whatever the case is. So now I can advocate for you. But because they don't know anything about you to begin with, I'm not going to bring somebody that I've just been dating for the last couple of months and that's solidified to a family function. Now, in the course of the year that we have been getting to know each other and we've been dating, and I'd say, hey, let's go to my mom's for her birthday, or let's go to my grandparents for their gathering, or let's go to the family reunion together. Then that's different because then now I have included you and you've seen. And if there is a problem after they have met you, then I'm going to say, okay, well, I'm going to go revert back to what Sharif said and saying, okay, well, I need to start my own traditions anyway. I don't have any kids. I'm not married. I would rather have to have my own family dynamic. And then if they choose to come around, great. And if you don't choose to come around, I already have the established foundation of my family that I choose to keep around me at that point. But after 6 to 8 months in, I'm not saying now.
I'm on board with that.
Now, hear me clearly. I'm not saying after, we just started dating, it's been 6 to 8 months and it's a holiday. I'm not saying that you don't include them at all, but I'm also not saying that you bust in the door talking about advocating for this person that I just got to know, 6 to 8 months.
I think that you need to have a mature...
Wait, hang on. Everybody's talking together. So go ahead, Aaron.
That's not what I said, though. What I said was, if it was 8 months for me, if you said I'm gonna spend half a day with you and half a day with my family, I'm cool with that because 8 months is still as an amount of time. Don't disregard our relationship because mama don't want to be around.
I'm not disregarding it.
Wait, hear what I'm saying. Because 8 months, you don't know what I've been through in these 8 months with this person. And I'm just going based off of my own experience. I don't know about what anybody else has been through, but I'm talking about me. From day one, I knew that my partner's mother didn't like me. But I know what I will tell you was this. She was okay when she wanted me to carry her groceries up the steps. She was okay when she wanted me to carry her furniture up the steps. So if I'm okay for this stuff, I'm okay to sit down and have a plate of food with you because I'm not a slave. I'm not a slave.
But let me
wait. So that's where I come from when I say that. Don't disrespect me and say that I'm good enough to be a servant to you, but not good enough to sit down and break bread with you because to me that's disrespectful. So when it comes to this, hey, your mom will be around me, I'm fine with that. I need half of the day or give me a few hours of the day because I have a family too. Give me a little bit of time of that day. Let me go and let us do something together. And then I go my family, go with your family, but don't disregard me the whole day.
Now let me rebuttal that because I said in the beginning of my statement that it is your man's responsibility. If the mother is treating you a certain kind of way, then it is your man's responsibility to check that shit from the beginning. Your man should not allow anybody, I don't care who it is, his mother, his father, his sister, his brother, his cousin, to disrespect you. And That's the thing. You were being disrespected, which is why you have such a big a big feeling about it, because you were being disrespected. And was he now correct me if I'm wrong? Did he step in and say, "Mama, now you wrong"?
Absolutely. First of all, my ex did not spend a holiday with his mom when we were together, so that's why I feel the way I feel. Because when I wasn't able to be around, he wasn't able to be around. So
that's a problem right there. He still never checked the situation. Just for him not going, not showing up or not participating in the holidays.
Wait. That's not true. He did check the situation. Matter of fact, him and his aunt did, who lived with her. They both checked the situation because they knew that it was wrong. Because if she can let me come to her house and do all these other things, but not come and have food at her house, was bullshit to both of them. So not only did he do it, but his aunt who lived with her did the same thing. So that's why I probably feel a little bit differently, because I've never been in a situation where my partner's mother is going to disrespect me, period. And we got together in like November. It wasn't even 6 months. But because we were together. So there was no disrespect when it came to me, period. And his aunt his aunt knew me enough to have respect for me. His mother said the same thing. And when the holidays came around, they made sure she knew that she needed to have respect for me, or he wasn't going to be there. Matter of fact, his aunt came to spend holiday with me and my family.
So I feel like there's a lot of nuance.
Hang on.
IQ talking.
So there's a lot of nuance when you talk about this stuff, because your situation is unique to you and the relationships that transpired in that family and that relationship. For a viewer to pick sense from anything we're saying, it's going to be difficult, because sure, like there are certain things that I can relate to that you're saying, but then there are other parts that I can't. Like for instance, it's cool if it was just Christmas with his family. Like Christmas lunch is with everybody. Like he's got a big family. So it also means understanding the logistics of how everyone's going to behave and if you're going to feel welcome. Like what I think is important for any viewer to take from this is that it needs to be an open dialogue between your partner and yourself way before the actual event. And I think that this is what happens, is that nobody really talks about it until those weeks or two ahead, when it's really too late to start anything. But realistically, I think that if it's 8 months and you're saying that, hey, we started dating in January and the holidays are coming and I want you for half the day, that's fine. In my instance, I don't have family in Canada. All of my family live in New York. So if I stay in Canada to spend Christmas with Bay, then you better be fucking spending Christmas with me, because I'm not in New York where we can be like, oh, you go see your family, I go see mine. So I think that there's a little bit of nuance based on what is the relationship like and how is this going to transpire over time. So if next year we're likely to have this same issue again, then maybe let's deal with it this year. Let's let people know, like, hey, I'm coming later because I'm spending the morning with Bay. Because you need to your partner needs to establish your importance in their life. One of the things that I always advocate for in myself is I'm going to make my life decisions to factor in my partner. So when I go ahead and do this, let's say I don't take the job in another city because of our relationship. Well, when the holidays come, don't make me regret not taking that job in the city because I wanted to accommodate you and your lifestyle. Because that was also a very real scenario for us. I wanted to move away. He didn't because his family is here. But then we stayed and I wasn't invited to Christmas. So it's like, what the fuck did I stay for? So realistically, it's a matter of establishing, like for me, it's not about the holiday itself. It's about the role I play in your life. And for a viewer, all I would say in that instance is you need to tell your partner what matters to you. If going to the event matters to you, then that's what you have to work towards. Or if just having the conversation with their parent is what matters to you, then that's what you need to establish, because this is going to look different for almost everyone who's approaching.
Absolutely.
I'm going to toss it to I know Sharif's hand was raised a few minutes ago. I'm going to toss it to Sharif.
I just feel like there's been a lot of different topics, a lot of different comments. Coming from somebody who was married, I just feel like you have to understand that everybody's family dynamic is different, and you can't take to heart how somebody's family is going to feel about things. And if they want to go see their family, let them go see their family, and don't ever let somebody put you in a situation where you become a slave, or you feel like you're being a slave, or you feel like you're doing things that wouldn't be done for you. So just always reciprocate the way people treat you. I want to be treated nicely, so I treat people nicely. And if you don't want to have meal for Thanksgiving, that's fine, because I know how to cook. And it's not that serious to come over to eat your dry turkey when I can have my own dry turkey. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just not that serious. So I'm old, and I've been gay for a long ass time, and I realize that everybody ain't gonna be happy with you sucking dick. But at the same time, like, the same thing happens for females. It ain't just about man on man. It's some women don't like their sons dating trash ass females. So it's the same thing. You can't just say it's because you sucking dick. It's the same thing because there's some mothers who never like their daughter-in-laws. So it's the same thing.
What you got, Easy?
Just for the viewer, I would say, not to get offended, but also create avenues where you guys can build those bridges, build those bonds, build those connections. Like, you have a whole other year where other holidays are going to come up, other birthdays are going to come up. Create situations where you guys have dinner together. Invite just you two and both your mothers to have dinner. Like, set up situations where it's going to be on your turf, though. Because, you know, when you go to mom's house, you want her feel. So, like, set up things. Aaron, we already know your situation is different. We know. Girl, I'm just saying you can create the opportunities to bridge that gap. All right. So when the holidays do come around, maybe it can be a collaboration the next time around versus it being at your house or their house. Maybe you bring some of the covered dishes. Like, just create certain. Take your mom to the farmer's market. Like, do things with them to introduce yourself so they can get to know you on a more personable level, so you don't have these type of situations.
Yeah.
Aaron, what you got? Because your hand was up.
That sounds amazing, but if
we know your situation is different, Aaron.
I don't have a situation anymore, so it's not my situation. It was my situation, but I'm saying if mom's not open to that, you know,
you can only try.
The thing is,
that's absolutely true. You can try, but if mom's not open to that situation,
then that's her loss.
That's not even what I'm going to talk about. What I was going to say is, one first thing I ask people now is, what is your relationship with your family like, and how they feel about you being gay? Because for me, I've already been through the bad part. I don't want to do it again. So if you can't deal with that, don't date them. Because I don't think that's if they're not willing to change. Have you ever dated a man before and they were willing to change? Or are you new? Like, what do you feel about this? Because if the person that you are dating multiple people and they weren't open to it, I'm not even going to risk my feelings towards this.
So I think it's more so the person's reaction to their family. There's always I'm pretty sure we all have family members that are in our family that do not agree with how we live our lives.
That's fine. That's fine.
But guess what? I don't associate with them.
The reason why I'm saying that is because for my parents right now, my mother wasn't cool with it when we first started, when she first found out I was gay. But guess what? My mother loves me so much, and not saying my other parents don't love them, but my mom changed for me because she loves me. And so for me, like, I would never bring someone home or even ask her to bring someone home if I thought she was going to be bad to them or whatever, but I would put myself in a position where I'm like, listen, I have a partner, and that person means a lot to me. And for 6 months for me, that's a long time. So I'm going to give my partner some time for the 6 months, the 8 months. I don't care. I'm gonna give my partner that time because I don't want to disregard my partner, make my partner feel some type of way like I'm choosing someone over them if we've already spent this time together.
What's the next subject?
Let me say this. Let me say this. I get what all you guys said. Honestly, I do, because they're different. These are all different situations. But I just been through a situation before where it didn't work out great for me. Like, I tried to do all these things. It didn't work out. And so I'm not going to do it again with somebody else's mom. Like, I'm just not going to do it. Listen, if your mom or your family's not cool with it, I'm out. Because my family worked their ass off to make sure that I felt comfortable being a gay man in their household with my entire family. So if your family's not open to that, like I don't want to subject my family to that or myself. Like I respect me enough to not do that. And not saying that that's a good or bad thing, but for me, I just don't want to do it.
I think that you need to just know what you're willing to put up with. I think at the end of the day, you can't go in a situation not anticipating some obstacles in life. Like no one promised you a great, smooth sailing of a relationship from beginning to end. And if this is the relationship struggle, then that's the relationship struggle, establishing where you fit in. Because realistically, you can have this welcoming, like awesome, like, oh my God, like we love you, and it can be great. Or it could be not. Like, I think that realistically what happens in this instance is that the second you find a man or a woman or whatever, that's your new family. And they have to prioritize this new family. Sure, you're not telling them to give a finger to their loved ones, but they've also chosen you. They've chosen you knowing the family they have at home. And if they've brought you into that chaos, they need to advocate for you, whether it's 6 months, 8 months, 10 years, because you're not in this situation all by yourself. You're here partly because of them. And realistically, I would say that just don't become the wedge between a person and the family. You better lose the person. It is better to lose the person than to be the boyfriend or girlfriend that the family hates. That's the truth.
Yeah, I would always tell them to choose their family over me.
Yeah, like realistically, because I would choose my family.
Let me go. Choose your family.
All right. Well, I feel like we need a commercial break. Do we have a video we can show? Like,
well, I think this was a really good conversation. One, because we all have different perspectives of this, right? And I know that you're like, you feel. I do feel that way about it because I've been through this, and like, y'all don't understand how bad it was.
I'll just say this. I don't want you to judge, because you say you would never get into that situation again, but don't let that horrible past situation be the dictator over your future situation. Because granted, your family was so welcoming for you. You may be that
That's not what I said though. My family wasn't.
But you were able to shift their mind. You were able to make them realize you are worthy of love just as much as anyone else.
But I also had a partner whose family wasn't like that. And it took a long time to the point where I realized his mother's never going to do this. But his aunt is going to do it. So I literally look at his aunt like his mother because she was more accepting of me. She lived out with his mom. And he also had a daughter. So like it was a lot to deal with. But I would never walk into a situation on purpose and know that my partner's family, a guy that I'm even thinking about dating's family is not okay with gay people, period, because it was stressful. It was a lot of stress. And unless you're going to know how to deal with your family, like I don't deal with my family, I'm not doing it. But you guys have different ways of doing things. So like these are different options. You have a different option.
Right.
Rick has a different option. IQ has a different option. Dwayne has one. So pick and choose what you want to do. But I'm just telling you, my personal opinion.
Let me say real quick. Only because like I want to give a little bit of context to this story of mine. So I'm 10 years older than my partner. 10 years older. He's Arab. He wasn't out. I'm his first relationship. So consider the first Christmas. So for me, I also had to remember I got myself into this scenario, right? Like I didn't go find the guy that was out that everybody knew about and it'd be easy. So while I had my feelings, it's also to say that you really, like, to whomever needs an answer to this question, the thing here is you have to understand the family dynamic that you're trying to get into. And you also have to understand where you fit within the life of your partner. Because if they're still like, oh, I'm taking it slow, I'm not sure, then you don't want to fight this fight because that's going to take a lot of energy and a lot of time and a lot of receipts. So for me, it really comes back to let the conversation be with you and your partner. You don't want to be anything to do with a family. Tell your partner what you're standing for, what you're not going to settle for, and it has to go from there.
All right. I'm calling that on this conversation.
Thank you.
And we're going to move on to our sex topics, which I think everybody is sticking around to hear anyway.
We need a new transition.
Yeah, I'm hot. I gotta.
Do we need refills on drinks? Do we need to take a commercial?
Yes,
for a second?
We do.
Okay, we'll take a commercial break for just a second. You guys,
Aaron and beat that shit like a brand new rug.
You have to realize that we haven't had a podcast in like 2 weeks.
So he's been holding on for a whole bunch of shit. He's been holding.
Don't blame the hiatus on that. don't blame. We was only gone for an extra week. That's it. Like,
no, we haven't had a podcast in like 3 weeks, right?
But the funny thing is that now y'all understand when there's an Aaron episode, this is what I mean.
Okay. Lord
this is what an Aaron episode is, where he is just like, I don't agree, and I think this, and I think that, and it should be like this because my situation said this, and my situation, and I'm sitting there like,
girl, it ain't that deep.
I was just giving y'all my point of view. Y'all got y'all's point of view. It's fine.
It's something. It was just 3 weeks about a podcast. This is why I see why your time frames are all messed up. 3 weeks is not a long time, sir. Neither is 8 months.
Not 3 weeks.
Yo, easy.
3 weeks for the podcast.
Oh, we didn't do this for the first. We had like 30 minutes for the first podcast.
Sex topics, eh? Oh wait, can I go get a drink?
You can go get a drink. This is our commercial break.
You want to show off your legs. Stop playing.
Right. Everybody, all your stuff. Guys, if you are listening and joining in with us, go refill your drinks. We've got sex topics.
Can I take a bathroom break?
You can take a bathroom break.
I got a bathroom break.
I gotta pee.
You can. I can take you out of the frame while you go to the bathroom. I think Kels went and did a run. All right. It's me and you, Easy. You good?
Ciao.
You have to understand. This is why. And then it's just me and him on the podcast most of the time. So then I'll be like,
all I want to say is I would say this. This is what I would say. Do not let your past dictate the things that are going on within your future. You may be that one individual that can help your partner's family realize, like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing something wrong.
Maybe we need to, maybe
we need to rethink things. Because like if you just set up scenarios where you can communicate with the other person's family, and it's never gonna be nothing worthwhile is easy. Like it just isn't. So if you really value that person and you really want to be there for it, set yourself up for success. Create avenues where you and the other person's family can really connect. Like there's so much that you can do it now.
I'm a firm believer that if you create the space, now granted, everybody's not going to bite into the space, but if you create the space, you'll be surprised at your outcome.
Exactly.
I had to create spaces for my partner to be around my family, for him to be able to say, okay, here is everybody. This is the uncle over there we don't fuck with. Auntie over there, she cool. Cousin over there, we, grandparents are great. Like you have to create the space for them to, to be in, whether they're invited or not. You're not going to put anybody in harm's way. I'm not saying that, but I'm also saying, just create the space so that they can, be included.
Well, I think that we also have to get rid of the sensationalization of relationships. We love to feel like it's going to happen, like it's been happening on TV. And
that's not
we truly need to separate the challenge and beauty of relationships, because in my opinion, sure, like I didn't think I'd be dealing with this, but then realistically, if not this, it'd be a different problem. And when we solve that other problem, there'll be a problem. So I think a lot of the times we look at it like it should be this storybook, it should be this fairy tale, when we don't realize that really relationships is the constant agreement to solve problems together. Because realistically, your life is going to be filled with them. Sometimes they're about your relationship, and other times it's about other shit. But
yeah,
like my grandmother always used to say, your relationship's either gonna start great and you're gonna hit rocks, or it's gonna be on the rocks in the beginning and you'll find your footing. Because realistically, that's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
If it starts too smooth, prepare for it. There's nothing to prepare you for how to solve conflict when you have that storybook beginning. You know what I mean? So to some extent, there is no getting away from any struggle once you've committed to like sharing a life with a person.
Yeah. Yeah. And you said a major word in that sentence, committed. So I think a lot of us are not committed to what it takes to sharing a life with a person.
Exactly.
You know, that takes a level of commitment that Sharif, what?
Nah. I'm hungry.
Bitch, all I hear is rah, 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 rah. Like what?
Bitch, I gotta keep my hands busy because Aaron was going in, bitch. I was just like, let me sit on my hands, honey.
Yeah, I love it.
Nerve of her.
I love it. Let's go to our sex topics, gentlemen. Are y'all ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Aaron, where's the theme song, Aaron?
Huh?
Who's the theme song? You're supposed to sing. It's sex topics.
Let's talk about sex. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things.
All right, stop. 10 seconds is up. After 10 seconds, they start to charge
you. You gotta pay for it. Yeah.
I remember from the Wendy Williams show.
Our first sex topics. My bottom is trying to teach me how to bottom. Should I be worried?
I'm sorry, I was drinking and you came off with my bottom so strong. I'm like, oh.
My bottom.
You know.
This is a good one.
That's a good question. I think it's a great question.
It's a good question.
It was so strong. Like it was just...
You know, I'm trying to add some life to the questions, you know. Dear Heartbeats, my bottom is trying to teach me how to bottom. Should I be worried?
You should not be worried.
No? Okay.
This sounds like a young person question, because I don't feel like if you are a top, like why is your bottom, who says they're a bottom, trying to teach you how to bottom? Like I don't understand that.
Yeah, why is your bottom trying to flip you?
And you have to be
maybe the bottom is trying to grow.
You have to be maybe receptive to it because they're trying to teach you.
Or maybe the bottom is trying to tell you that you're not doing it right.
That's where I was going after.
What did you say, Aaron?
I feel like that would be the wrong way to teach them, though.
Maybe they're trying to teach you how to bottom so you can bottom for them.
But I feel like there was an establishment beforehand, like I'm not a bottom.
But yeah. I mean, if you're in a relationship long enough, sometimes that changes.
Lies.
I think that a lot of times. I think the times I bottomed, I will say, the times I bottomed, what has stressed me out is the top not understanding what my experience is in this. So if I'm reading this with a filter of my experience, I'm going to say the bottom is teaching you because there's something in it that they're not 100% enjoying and maybe would like you to assimilate or at least get a better appreciation for what it's like in their position, because
they want you to understand that this ain't no pussy. This is an asshole.
Right.
And you over here just...
I was there. I've been in that situation.
Sharif, that it's not a booty cat.
It's not a booty cat. I'm going to need you to understand, sir. This is an asshole. That's a booty hole, sir. It's not a booty cat. Sir.
Yo, like sometimes I see these videos and I'm like, that's not supposed to do that.
And they be going so hard. I'm like, Jesus, you trying to kill him?
I take this question that way, though.
Okay. So how did you interpret it, Aaron?
I think it is like the bottom wants this top to bottom for him. So he's trying to teach him how to bottom.
Well, I guess they shouldn't say I'm a bottom trying to teach my top how to bottom. Like you shouldn't say that. You should be like, I'm versatile and I want my partner to be versatile. You can't say I'm a bottom and he a top. Like those two things don't match up. So he should have said I'm versatile.
The top clearly wrote this question.
Wait, everybody, hang on. Everybody's talking at one time. Hang on 1 second. Aaron, what did you say?
That's basically what it said. It said my bottom is trying to teach me how to bottom. Which means the bottom is trying to teach the top how to bottom.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
Easy. What did you say?
Yeah, go Easy, sorry.
I heard the same thing. I heard like my bottom is trying to teach me how to bottom. So and it says it's the ending part that gets me right there. It says, should I be worried?
That part.
The fact that you said, should I be worried, means you're already worried. All right. You're already worried. You're already concerned. You are pondering. Like this is on your mind to even write a letter.
You have reached out for help.
Yeah, like you're reaching out for help because you don't want to bottom. You're not trying to bottom. And I feel like
these strangers.
Yeah, like we are 5 strangers. We do not know you, and you gave limited details. You ain't trying to have this come back to you. So you ain't trying to get no type of insight on like, oh wait, like I may know him from IG or Twitter or something. No, like it was straight to the point. It was like literally straight to the point. So I feel like this top got into this relationship or this situationship believing that his dude was a complete bottom, and he was probably very much okay with that. He was probably in agreement. It's like, okay, good. I'm a total top. He a total bottom. Oh, baby, we in here. We good. Now all of a sudden, I got a drink. Okay.
He's trying to stand up in there.
We explain the shit. Okay, now, so you're just not joining the live. You have to understand when you hear that buzzer, that means it's time to take a drink.
Okay, so now, like he thinking it's good. I'm a total top. He a total bottom. We good to go. Now all of a sudden he's sitting there banging them out, and he thinking it's over with how he get his nut. And now he's sitting there playing his booty hole. Like, what are you doing back there, sir? We done.
But is he not allowed to change his mind?
He is allowed to change his mind, but you need to have that communication because he said, "Should I be worried?" That means they have not had a conversation about this.
Yeah. He doesn't know how much bottoming he's about to be doing.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta have the conversations. You just can't automatically just like the top probably came home, laid across the bed, was relaxing, and then so you know there's a tongue in his ass. Like, what are you doing, sir?
He is 100% gonna not be comfortable with any ass play right now.
But I mean, I guess again, we don't know how long this relationship has been going on. I think that
where the timeline go.
When you say my bottom, it's long enough. You
So let's claim them. So that's in my mind. That's how I interpret it. So I mean, being in a relationship, it changes.
Yeah,
so that's fine though. You just have to have the communication with your partner.
Well, I mean, he's communicating with him that he's teaching you how to bottom.
What I think the top in question should ask themselves, what worries me about being a bottom? Because the thing is, in my relationship, we've had to have this discussion, and he has also said to me, like, it doesn't, like, positions shouldn't matter once you're in love with a person, because now it has gone from a preference setting to more like a pleasure setting. It's like, where do I need to take my...
But
it goes from a preference setting to a pleasure setting. Like, and that's true. Like, when I'm dating somebody, like, it's all about preference. Like, this is me and whatever. But the second I love you and you say, yo, like, I want to try this, or like, I don't like this, it's like, I feel a need to be more in, like, to care more about that. So I would say to the last part of the question, the should I be worried? I would say you shouldn't be worried, because if you're into this person, it gonna feel good. You just have to get used to it.
But I also think that the top is worried. I think the top is worried. It's being like, does he see me being a bottom? Does he think that I'm a bottom? Does he think I want to get fucked? Because he's trying to teach me.
You can literally, you could be top 1 to leave the house. Nobody needs to know. Like nobody.
He's worried about taking that dick.
I mean, if you never took dick before,
if your bottom is hung, if your bottom is hung, then you are just afraid that it's payback. That's all.
Well, then you need to take care of your bottom a little bit more. You just can't be banging these bottoms out like that.
You can't.
Yeah.
I gotta work.
You gotta be sucking a little dick and eating a little ass. You gotta be doing a little something extra.
Oh, not eating a little ass. I'm already turned off.
I'm in solidarity with women who talk about men. I'm in solidarity with women who say men watch porn.
A lot.
So let's go to a question.
Aaron, Aaron, you're not eating ass?
I said, why are you eating a lot of ass?
We're not even entertaining that question. I don't know why you asked. Let's go to a question that we have from our listeners or watchers that correlates with this question. Damien says, why is flipping later in your sex life a bad thing? Why is that?
I don't think it's a bad thing.
I don't think it's a bad thing, but you got to be prepared for it. You can't just spring up like you want. I'm asking like you want like Chinese or Italian. You can't be like, no, I want a bottom today. Like that's not how this works, bitch. You got to come with something like that's the conversation to lead into it.
You know what the magic about Twitter is, and I love it, is that people that be in relationships, they always post stuff like, I bought a butt plug today because my partner wants me to buy them. And it gives an opportunity, and I think even with our podcast, as I said before, we're able to give opportunities to help people learn how to open up a little bit before you actually have to take some dick.
Figuratively.
Yeah, well,
no,
exactly.
Literally.
I'm talking about opening it up so that when you do have to do it, because I'm thinking about me first time bottoming. It was a terrible experience because I didn't know about butt plugs. I didn't know about how to open it first. Somebody plowed the fuck out of me, and I thought I was gonna die. So you got people who can teach
Stop
you.
It, Kels. Stop it, Kels.
Bitch, you said you thought you was gonna die? Was your eyebrows burning?
I'll tell you, this boy.
Your eyebrows burning?
It gets pretty.
No. My whole body was burned. I thought I was just melting in light.
Not the whole body.
I thought the light was rat for me. It was horrible.
It burned. It burned.
Pound the fuck out of me. Like he got in, and it was a wrap for me. Like he didn't care about me at all.
That's horrible.
It was horrible. I didn't have sex after that for 2 years.
Oh, you were still healing. That's why.
I didn't want to have sex with men no more.
That was horrible. That was not a good experience for a first time bottoming at all.
No.
But I'm gonna tell you what happened was the guy that did it after that. Actually, we didn't even have sex. He ate my ass. So I think that's probably why that's like my favorite thing, because before that, like it was a long time, periodically amounts of time, and then we had sex, but it was more intimate. So I think that when you are, let's say the guy is saying what I'm thinking. I think that, prepare yourself, like make sure that the bottom does to you what he wants done to him.
So I don't feel like flipping later in your relationship or life is a bad thing. I feel like what happens though is that we're still really strung up on gender roles. And even though we're gay, we love to still think that men are men. So the whole idea of flipping is a challenge to that. It's like, and it's funny because like, I feel like gay people want to like make our own rules, but then there's some rules that we just love to believe need to remain, that a top is a man. And it's like, really? Because if you could take a 13-inch dick, use a man. Like, that's how I feel. Like,
how big?
I said 13 because that's the largest I saw on Twitter recently. I'm just saying.
I thought you were going to say that's the largest I done took. I'm about to say, bitch. You cleared the room, bitch. We all know tonight,
but that's what I mean.
That's the man, though.
But that's what I mean.
Kels was on the same page I was on.
Wow.
I thought you were going to say you've been taking 13 inches out here.
No, this is not a biopic. This is not a biography.
We thought you were speaking from experience.
this is me speaking about how things work, but I do feel like that's the issue with flipping, is that people feel like if you're a man, you should never want to be. If you're a real man, you should never want to be a bottom. And in my opinion, that just goes into the archaic way that we look at gender. But,
so question, how did each one of you choose or decide I want to be a top or I want to be a bottom, I want to be versatile? Like, tell that story.
I'll go first. You want me to go first?
Yes.
Let's start from you and then go all the way around.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my very first sexual experience, kind of like in Aaron's case, my very first sexual experience was me bottoming for my very first boyfriend. And it was not, it was one of those situations where it was kind of like an out of body experience. Like I didn't know what was happening, but I didn't know if it was good, and it kind of felt good, but it didn't feel good. It was a whole uncomfortable situation. And in our relationship, I decided, because again, this is my very first sexual experience. I was like, well, let me try to eat your ass. And apparently I was really good at it, so good that he didn't want me. He didn't want me to bottom anymore, because then he just wanted me to fuck him after I would eat his ass so well. So that's the rest of our relationship was me topping and eating ass, and so that not did you see your head?
That's just great. That's just great.
I did my best impersonation of the.
You did, Easy. That was good. But what I will say from that though, Aaron, Kels, what I really recently just realized is that my whole sexual preference is based upon my experience from my traumatic experience from bottoming the first time. I think had it been differently, then I may be fully versed, or I may be more willing and acceptable to having people, or me bottoming for people. I'm not, because of that, for that very reason, because I didn't like the way that felt, or how I interpreted what was happening. So I stuck with being a versatile top, because we talk about that on the show all the time, because of that. A convertible top, or a booty cat, as Aaron likes to call it.
Wow.
But that was the very reason why I think I have the preference that I have, is because I became very selective who went back there, and how I navigated wanting to bottom or be versatile in settings and situations. So go ahead, E, what you got? This is gonna be real quick and short. Go ahead, E.
It was my first time. I was a bottom. Been that way ever since. I just felt like that was. Well, I will say this. I think I shared this before. I thought that was supposed to be my role, like, because I didn't know so much. Like I went into my sexual experience not knowing really what to expect. But I am grateful that I did have a positive first time experience. And from that point on, I just figured that was my role. I didn't find out about verses or being able to flip flop or whatnot until later on in life. I'm like, what the hell? I didn't know that was a thing.
You thought you signed up for a lifetime membership, and
I didn't know there were no options.
I didn't know there was. I didn't know I could check multiple boxes. I didn't. No one told me this information.
So wait, Easy, I have a question for you real quick. If your top was teaching you how to top, would you be worried?
Good question.
Ring that buzzer.
No,
that's just
you know what's funny? I just saw my first too. He was here like 2 weeks ago.
You talk about him quite often, so it was good that you.
It was funny because he popped up in town, and he stopped by and saw me and my friends, because we have a good relationship. But anywho, I wouldn't be worried. I'd be open to, like IQ said, when you get to a certain point in a relationship, it's more so about pleasing each other. And if I know that the relationship is real and genuine, and like I feel safe and secure and welcome and comfortable, then yeah, I would be willing to try other things in the bedroom. But don't think it like not no one night stand type shit. No, you gonna get this ass and you won't like it.
Okay, so back to the question at hand. SoDebNair, what you got?
For me, it's always about the vibe from the person that I'm. So like, I really like. For me, I'm very versatile, but for me, most of the times, my first experience was bottoming. So I always
you what?
Back to bottoming.
Did you say that you was very versatile?
No, I said I am very versatile. I said, but my first times always was bottoming. So like, I always revert back to that. But I've been like recently I've been topping a lot. I'm a vibe person.
What's a lot?
Like the last 20 times I've been topping.
Okay.
But I'm always a vibe person. I've always been like that. Like for me, it's about when I'm around the person that I meet, what are you giving off to me? And if it's like, especially if it's foreplay first, it's like a random thing for me. Like whatever happens, it happens. I don't think that I can even classify myself as either one. But I do revert back to bottoming most of the time because of my ass. That's period. That's always the time. But that's it. So I don't know. I enjoy both the same.
Kale, set it up. What you got? While you over there eating?
Getting into Aaron's comments. That's what it was.
He had to mute it so you can hear him shooting.
I did. Let me say this. I am a big ass nigga, and I have a lot of tattoos, and I have a beard. So I always kind of fell into the top category. So nobody ever tried to make me bottom. So I don't even know what that's like. I don't know what it feels like. I don't know nothing about that. Just because of my stature and my presence always leads me to be the more dominant role. So that's what I feel like has led me to always be a top.
Aaron,
what are you doing?
Going on?
I got a question.
Oh
no, please go ahead.
Like, yeah. You doing a Charleston? Like, what is happening?
What is she doing?
But I mean, for me, I always say this on the podcast too. I feel like that because people always come to me thinking my bottom all the time. But I always guess like I feel like when I'm meeting people, like it's about vibing people. Like if they feel like I'm a top, but like if I get into the room with them and I feel like something else can happen, like I might change that vibe. So have you ever done that?
It ain't never been about a vibe for me because when I meet you, I already know that you ain't gonna never like climb on my back. You never gonna fuck me. So like I don't care how much of a good vibe it is. Like I ain't gonna never come ready to like get fucked. I ain't gonna never dush. Like I'm never gonna be ready for that. So like if the vibe is amazing, that's great. It's amazing. Yes, you are amazing. But I'm still gonna eat Chinese food. I'm still gonna eat Burger King. And if you want to try to fuck me, you're gonna get shitted on. So like it ain't never about no vibe, like for me. But like I have felt like a vibe where people would be like, oh, make me feel secure, make me feel safe. But I still want to eat your ass. I still want you to sit on my face. I still want all of that, even if I do feel secure. So I do
that with tops all the time.
Let me also say this too. Because I am a bigger guy, I have a big ass. So people sometimes, not every time, some people be like, oh my gosh, your ass big. Can I eat it? Sure, why not? Okay, cool, whatever. I'm not so sexually like in my zone where I can't please somebody. But at the same time too, I'm never gonna be ready to get fucked. I ain't never coming nowhere being like, I prepped, I done dushed, I'm ready. Like this never gonna happen, ever. So this dick always gonna be hard.
So you never bottomed before at all?
No. Mm-mm. I've tried. I'm gonna tell you, I tried.
The
I tried.
luxury.
But all this ooching ouching, motherfuckers don't want that shit. Like,
I came over here and I got McDonald's on the way. Like,
and I'm a ooching out your ass to death, and you ain't gonna want this, like, because you're gonna be like, well, goddamn, nigga, let me just turn the fuck over. Like, you ain't gonna want nothing. I promise you. So I'm not trying to say I'm so hard or I'm so masculine, because I'm not. I'm really just like a regular ass nigga. I'm country and I'm fat. So, bitch, these are the two things you go get.
No.
Oh my god.
Oh.
So motherfuckers see this beard, they see these goddamn tattoos, they be like, oh shit, he a nigga. And I be like, what's the tea, bitch? You still gonna give me some ass? So like, why be mad? I'm just saying.
oh Lord Jesus.
This one
And
over
this is-
here.
And
I don't
also
even
people say
remember
this,
the question right now.
this is coming from somebody who, like, I ain't never been single more than 3 months. So I mean,
Okay.
and
That makes sense.
and I've been married, and like, yeah. So
That makes sense.
coming from somebody who knows what they're doing.
Oh God.
He said I had McDonald's on the way.
Yeah.
Girl, are we ordering pizza? Are we having Chinese? What we doing? Like, I'm fat. You gotta feed me, bitch.
Oh gosh. Okay.
IQ,
please.
Oh my God.
IQ, please.
Well, it's funny because I feel like everybody else, when you're young, you play around. I think that my first experience, I was a top ball. And then I bottomed after that. So I kind of knew what my preference was. But I also feel like it comes from a place where, like Aaron is saying, there's a vibe that plays a big part in the role you assume. Because I feel like unless you are both really well versed, there is a pocket you fall into, pun intended. But like, yeah, like that's what I feel. Like, I think that unless you are really just, you love what you love, I think that there are these elements where you might start out like, okay, this is like, okay, I might be bottoming for you first because that's fine. But I feel like personally for me, I've always been more inclined to top. I felt more, sorry, what is that?
Go back.
They put that comment up there. I'm sorry.
But let me say
Yeah,
this,
no.
IQ, I feel like everybody thinks that you're a top because you show mad dick on Twitter. So like, I would never think that you're a bottom.
Well, because
Why do you
that's,
call my 3 pumps?
because realistically, that's not something that everybody would ever get to experience. Like, that's something that would really be specific to a vibe. Like, that's what I mean. It's like my preference would definitely be to topping. But at the end of the day, like with my partner, it's like, well, I'm not going to just tell him I'm not going to do something. And that's what I mean. It's like, for sure,
it's
on
partner
Twitter,
preference. It's not hookup preference. So it's a top. I mean, you'll bottom if for your partner, but you ain't gonna bottom for just a random ass person on the streets.
no.
See, he been having McDonald's too, bitch. Y'all act like I'm crazy, bitch. He been eating McDonald's and Papa John's.
Can I say something?
So Aaron,
We was not laughing at your story.
we weren't.
Laughing at the comments.
That was my fault.
Me and the 3 pumps.
Yes. Because apparently when Aaron tops, he only gives them 3
I ain't
pumps.
saying nothing about the Starbucks though.
Hey,
Aaron,
Aaron,
where did the 3 pumps come from, though, Aaron?
So I said this. I was joking around, and this is how young people listen to this podcast. I said when I top, like I should have said if I'm not really interested in topping like that, I'll give you 3 pumps and you're done. So people have taken this, and they every time that I post anything about me topping,
literal.
They always say that, oh, did you give him 3 pumps? I will post on Twitter like, oh, I was top tonight. Did you do 3 pumps? Like they always on the fact that I said 3 pumps.
Hey.
So I love it because it makes me know that we listen to podcasts, but I don't care about their puns. I don't want to do it.
So, Chef Bashi has a question. Being that you all have chosen your preference or preferred position based on your first or prior experiences, how do you treat your sexual partner?
Can I answer this first?
Sure.
Okay, so for me, that's not what I did. I actually tried bottoming first, but I realized that I do like to do both. The reason why I bottom more is because that's what I meet more tops than I meet bottoms. That's unless I get onto like the apps or something like that. I always meet tops more than I meet bottoms, so that's why I always do that. So that's my answer to that question. Like I don't meet bottoms first.
Anybody else have anything for Chef? All right, let's go to the next question. What is a power bottom?
Wow.
Aaron.
Let's get into this.
I'm not a power bottom at all. But
I'm just joking.
I want everybody to answer this because people always ask this in our comments. For everything that we do, they always ask this.
Let Easy go first. I want to hear Easy's answer.
Well, actually, no. Start with the way to go around from Easy to me, IQ, and then to you.
Okay. Dwayne.
I am not a power bottom, so if my definition is skewed, that is only because it's my interpretation of what I think a power bottom is, and I can be completely wrong. Let me put that preface it out. I think it's just somebody that has more of a worship experience with bottoming.
Worship experience.
I think that they just, they get into some kind of trance almost and just want to be loud.
They possess us. They possess.
They may go to another realm, honey, and they are in it to win it, and they just want a pound after pound after pound after pound. I don't. That's my interpretation. I could be wrong. I said I could be wrong. I don't know. Easy.
Breathe.
Just my interpretation. Please correct me in the comments if I am wrong. I feel like it is a bottom who is ready at any given moment. I feel like it is a bottom who is willing to be put in any type of position. I feel like it is a bottom who is willing to take any size, but preferably larger sizes. I'm talking like double digits. I feel like it is that bottom that is willing to go pound for pound, round for round. Like,
oh wow.
It's not necessarily like it's a revolving door, but like you can really go in, but at the same time, they are also giving it back to you. So they're a bit of an aggressive bottom as well. Like they are running the show. You may think you have this show like down pat, but no, that bottom is really running the show.
Aaron?
That's just my opinion. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
I think a power bottom. These answers are so great. I don't know. I think that a power bottom is someone who could just take dick, whatever size that it is. Like they know how to control the dick, and they are not having issues with the dick. That's what I think.
Okay.
And they're going to control whatever size that is.
Kels?
I feel like, first off, let me just say this before I give my description. Power bottoms, I love you. Hit me up. You're amazing. I feel like power bottoms know what they want. They are aggressive, and there is no limits to what they will do to get what they need. So power bottoms to me are the tops of the bottoms. Like power bottoms will take control. They will throw that ass on you, throw it on your face, throw it on your dick, throw it on the doorknobs, bitch. A power bottom don't care. They're gonna get they nut. So that's how I feel about it. They are very aggressive, super aggressive bottoms. They don't need all that love and tenderness and me gonna hold you and kiss you and do all that shit. They just be like, give me that dick and let's do this, and I'm gonna move on.
A power bottom
also too.
A power bottom gets up and get their own rag.
They don't need me to wipe them off on the backside. They're gonna do that by themselves.
Power bottoms wrong.
So I think power bottoms are sure of themselves, and they don't need nobody to reassure them of that they are a bottom. I love it. I ain't mad at them.
IQ, what you got?
I'm gonna shit on you.
So the question is, what is a power bottom? I would say that's a dominant bottom. Like, again, I think that when people talk about flip-flopping and they do this whole like, oh, I'm like masculine or I'm dom, it's like, well, I feel like, again, you think that only if you're a top you can be like full of testosterone and masculine, but I think like a power bottom is really just someone who's dominant about wanting what they want and not acting passive or not acting soft, but more demanding and more outright about, you know, getting what they need. Getting it. We try to keep it decent.
Bitch, why does comment said that somebody wrote they did like it was 1999?
I wish I read that one too. Listen, then there were people like me who didn't know the difference and thought top meant sitting on top, and this man rode my dick like in 1999 definitely shaped my likes. What does that mean?
So basically, he did not know the difference between top and bottoming, and he thought being top was riding the top, not being the top.
Oh, I was with Sharif. I didn't know what that meant.
I just got the Prince preference, and I was just like, party like we 1999. Like, I don't really get it, but okay, girl.
So I want to shout out.
The unknown experiences of gay men is just always interesting.
There could be a book. There could be several books of the Black gay male experience. Vocals New York, I want to shout you out for doing that. Ain't misbehaving reference, by the way. Find out what they like, how they like it, and let them have it just that way. I see you, friend. Let's go to, okay, so we've been on for 2 hours. Let's start there. Number one.
Oh, Jesus.
Number two, we're gonna do a quick game, and we're gonna let you guys go. Is that cool?
Yes.
Good. All right.
All right. Prizes? Is this like the Price of Right?
Is this like a Price of Right? There is a video accompanying to explain how this game goes. So tune into video here.
All right, Harvey. So it's game time. So I need you to grab all your drinks because we are getting ready to play a new game for the anniversary, which is called The Keys to My Soul. Earlier in the year, me and Dwayne did something funny where we did quotes at the end of the podcast. And my quote was, "The keys to my soul is your mouth on my hole."
Wow. Yes, bitch.
So I thought it'd be fun to play a game with that quote. What's going to happen is you're going to see a picture of two mouths. We're going to all choose which one is the key to the soul for each of us. Now, this is a majority rules game. So if majority of the people pick the mouth on the right, whoever picked the side on the left has to take a drink and vice versa. If it's a tie, everybody's safe. If everybody picks the same one, everybody's safe. Hopefully y'all get that. If not, I'll explain a little bit more, but I'm ready to play. Y'all ready to play? All right, let's go.
Aaron, you did a very good job on that, friend.
Try to explain it the right way.
How many times did you have to start over?
Like 12 times.
Nice.
I had to replace parts and everything.
All right. So for those that didn't understand
what the rules were.
Say it again.
Everybody understand what the rules were.
We're going to show a picture. We're going to show a picture of two mouths, and you pick either the mouth on the left or the mouth on the right. It's a majority wins game. So if you pick for the majority picks one side and you've picked the other, you have to drink. Though, are we guessing whose mouths these are?
Well, I didn't even put that together because I didn't. But we can show them afterwards. So.
Got you. All right. So you just tell me. I'm a point and click. You tell me when you're ready. You ready?
And 3. How much you want to do?
So I'll show the overlay. You guys pick which mouth would be the key to your soul or your whole, or how did the phrase go, Aaron?
The key to your soul. And hold on, I'm gonna reset my timer. You want to do for 30 seconds?
That's even too long. I mean, it's only 2 pictures.
10 seconds.
Do 10 seconds.
All right, so 10 seconds. Y'all see the mouth. Y'all pick which one is the key to your soul.
The left or the right?
Left
pick
or
the
the
left or the right. All right, ready?
When you ready?
Ready?
In 3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
Time.
All right. So is it the left or the right?
Left.
Right.
I'm gonna choose the left.
I'm gonna choose the left too.
Really? I chose the right.
Easy.
I wasn't impressed with any of them.
You gonna make
you gotta choose.
I'll go with the majority. Go with the left then.
All right, so you could show which one it was.
So we want to show whose mouths they belong to. All right. Oh.
Left still.
Yeah.
Still right for me.
Even though like he's a weird individual.
I don't even know who they are. Who are they?
I don't know who they are either.
He's the guy who plays on Sisters. He's on that Tyler Perry show.
The one to the right was Leland Brown. He's on Boomerang, and the other guy's on Sisters, Tyler Perry show.
Oh.
All right.
Visually, he's nice, but when he starts to speak, it's a different situation. His views on marriage is like a little.
Which one?
The one that plays on Sisters.
Oh, wait. Yeah, he's okay.
All right, let's go to number 2.
All right. All right, we have timer started.
Oh, I know.
3, 2, 1, time.
All right. Who we got?
Trey Songz.
Oh.
The other boy crazy.
Left to right.
Left or right, Sharif?
Left. I'm sorry.
Easy. You need.
I forgot.
Don't take too long, sis.
All right, I'm ready. Give me the one with the beard.
Okay. Aaron, what you got?
I'm going left.
I'm going to the right.
Okay. IQ, what you got?
I'm going left.
IQ is going left. All right. I'm gonna go. I don't know. I'm gonna go left.
Sharif, stop saying names.
Because this is who they are.
Ooh.
So who said? How many people said right?
I wish I went right.
I went right.
Only one who went right was IQ, right?
Me. So I gotta take a drink.
Aaron went right, but I drank anyways.
Okay.
What I love about this, guys, if you can't see the comments, they're playing along in the comments, and some people are either left or right. Somebody said none.
I would have gone right because his pants fit right.
His pants fit
right.
right.
Stop saying the names.
Spoken like a true top.
Stop saying the name, Sharif.
Okay, sorry.
We'll release those afterwards.
All right, let's go to slide number 3. You ready?
3, 2, 1, go. Five.
Oh, I know who that is.
3.
Definitely.
Me too.
1. Stop.
I'm gonna go to the right.
I'm gonna go to the left.
I'm going to the right.
I remember at this point. I think I'm gonna go to the right though. The right. I'm going to the right.
I don't know which is left and right.
I think the right's one that I wanted.
I'm going to
Whichever one is showing teeth. That's the one I want.
Okay.
I try not to show teeth.
That would be the left.
That's the left. Okay, that's the left.
Left.
I'm going right. I'm going right.
I know who right is.
Oh my god, bro! Right is so. Oh my god.
I can't stand right.
Right.
Me either.
Right.
I do not like the right one.
I like right. So
I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna go left.
Bad
That's what we're
experience
doing.
with him.
So who's going right? Who's going left?
I'm going left.
Left. Easy. Dwayne.
I'm going to the right.
To the right. 3.
Left.
IQ.
Right.
Okay. So we lost. You get your own. I love.
Let me tell
Still
you.
going right.
Mr. Left. Ro James or whatever his name is, Miss James.
Luke James.
That's Luke
she
James.
date white girls, and she nasty, and she showed her butt on her album cover, so I like her.
I had a bad experience.
Luke James.
Yeah,
Luke
she
James
dated Beyonce's backup dancer.
You talking about Luke James or Les Gross?
Luke James dated Beyonce's backup dancer.
And Jessie J.
Mm-hmm. He like white girls. He nasty.
Am I on the wrong side?
I think you are.
Because
I think you are.
Les Gross on the right side.
Huh?
Yes. Lance Gross is on the right.
See, I don't go for background. I literally go for the photo. And that photo of the guy on the right, I don't care what it looks like.
Okay, what you need to do next time, you need to label each photo with like A or B.
But I know
that was better.
I know the lips already though, so that's why I knew what I was saying. But when they said left and right, I was kind of confused.
I knew Lance's picture off the bat, but I had a bad experience with him personally, and I did not like him.
I've had it actually when I met him, he was really nice.
He was an ass.
He was like when I met him, he was dope. Like we actually hung out when I met him. He was really dope. So I didn't have that experience.
He can get hit by a bus.
Let's go to number 4, guys.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Ooh. I already know.
Left.
Yes.
For
Go.
sure.
Left. IQ, what you got?
Left.
He said left.
Aaron?
He is everything. Let me just say that.
I was gonna go Ray.
What?
I like Ray.
Yeah.
That left, Lord Jesus.
I like Ray.
Ain't nothing wrong with that left though. So look at that.
I was about to say, follow him on Instagram is woo.
I think Ray's looking.
I would come prepared to his house. I wouldn't have McDonald's before I came over.
Right.
Sales ain't all day. He bleeding and
you ain't know.
I'm a little bitch.
He been drinking lemon water all day.
I lost 2 pounds, bitch. I am celebs.
You ain't no real time.
I
gotta refill my drink. Give me 2 seconds.
He's just everything.
He is.
Y'all didn't watch Tyler Perry's show, Sisters?
I don't watch nothing Tyler Perry.
I love that. That man is amazing.
He on P Valley?
No, not that guy that was on the
Left is on P Valley, right is on Sisters.
Yeah, left is what I'm talking about. I don't know
His
that right.
news are all over. His news are all over the place.
Send them to me.
His videos too.
Same.
You have them?
All right, you ready?
You can type his name in on Pornhub and they're gonna pop it up.
Oh, all right.
His dick on there?
Yeah.
Oh.
On whose?
Right.
Late.
On Tyler's?
Yeah.
Not Tyler Lee. Tyler Lee play?
Send him to
no,
me.
Not him. The guy who's on the right.
Oh, I don't know.
There.
Send it to me. Inbox me. All right, y'all ready? You ready for the next one?
Number 5. Ready?
3, 2, 1, go.
Well, clearly it's right.
Ooh! No,
Right.
clearly it's left. Left.
Right. No, stop.
Oh,
Michael
right.
B. Jordan.
I
Michael B. Jordan.
know right.
Of course.
I'm going to the left.
I'm going to the left. Ooh. I gotta go with Tyler Perry. Where he was the way he was fucking in Lovecraft, honey. I need a little in my life.
Jonathan,
Yeah.
This is the hard one. This is the hard one.
That is a hard one.
Left, Dwayne.
Yeah, I'm
You
going to
can't
the
put
left.
them two men against each other like that.
You want Dwayne? I mean, easy. What y'all going?
No black on black violence here.
What y'all going?
Left.
Dwayne left. Me left. Easy.
I'm gonna go right, and then I'm gonna go left, and then I'll make another U-turn back to right.
He's going right.
I'm going right. That's top dog right there.
Where you going, IQ?
Right.
So yeah.
Easy, we've been cool all the whole time. Easy.
No, don't get me wrong. Jonathan Majors, I was following his career before he got big. Like I was, because he did a lot of.
Y'all know what the question was, right?
Lips.
The lips on my soul.
Jonathan McMajors will suck your pussy out your life, bitch.
Hello, Michael B. Jordan is just. Whew.
His lips is not good for Jonathan's soul.
Michael B. Jordan is a woman.
Look at the lips again. Look at the lips again.
Ooh, God damn.
But literally
Michael
no
B.
decision.
Jordan is the sexiest man alive.
But
There's
his
literally no
are
decision
not
before
apparent.
this one. Hello. Literally no decision before this one was just based on the lips. Y'all thought about, this person and this background. Like,
Aaron should have got some nobodies before he put these.
Yeah.
I want to make a challenge.
Michael B. Jordan is definitely, I'm sticking there.
The lips, I'm not talking about the person, the body, the face. I'm talking about the lips by themselves.
Still Michael.
It's not Jordan B. On that. It's not. Like Jordan B. cannot compete with those lips.
Okay. And that Michael Jackson nostrils, honey.
To my butthole.
Sorry, no. Michael B. Jordan all the way.
Do your butthole, sir? Do your butthole?
He will suck my soul through his butthole, to my butthole. With them lips. Yes. You ready for the next one?
I want to watch.
You can watch it because he will do it. Y'all ready for the next one?
All right. This is the last one. This is the last one.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, easy. LL.
Right. All day.
Yeah.
I'm choosing left.
Though left looks like he looked when he was 15.
Stop. I'm choosing left. And just because y'all knew who the other one was, the other one just is better. So I'm choosing the left. Because I knew it was.
Dwayne, you've been quiet. Who you want to suck on your puss?
He always does it, though. He does it all the time.
Because I'm controlling the game. I can see who we're talking about.
So who you want to suck on your puss, honey? You ain't playing?
I'm going to go to the right. I'm going to go to the right.
Before you show who they are, Dwayne, who is it?
Wait, who am I going to
the show was?
I'm going to go to the right.
Okay, I'm going to the right, too.
I'm going to the right.
We won.
Woo!
Yes, LL.
He only made an entire career out of licking his lips. To lose this round would be a failure of his career.
Be a failure of his career.
Like, to lose this round, he's only licked his lips every time we've seen him in the last.
Fuck all that rapping shit, bitch. We all about the lips. Don't care about none of your rap.
I would rather
the body. Oh my gosh.
I don't care what Mama said to do. I just want you to lick your lips. That's all I want you to do.
I was still.
And then I want you to knock his pussy out.
I was still rather Lorenz.
But Lorenz, now let me say this: Lorenz Tate has aged.
His lips was
gracefully
backwards.
Well, he looks like a toddler. The same,
and that's fine with me.
He's got that gene.
I will say this one: can we get some gay men next time?
Huh?
Can we get some sissies next time?
Yes.
We had gay people the last time.
Well, we wasn't on here then.
Who did we have last time?
We had OnlyFans people last time.
You need me to
that's because we were judging dicks, though.
Were we? We wasn't judging dicks. We just people. Period.
Wow.
We were judging who we sleep with. We were judging by dicks.
That was it.
Do I need to pull that file? Do I need to pull
that? Pull that.
Stand by.
I remember because they made me choose which OnlyFans performer I would have the most fun with.
You want to choose who? Hold on, we need to play
IQ was in there.
I don't want to be here for that. I don't want to be here if you're going to go over that.
I thought it was for Job, though.
It was me.
That's something that.
But I thought you didn't mind dicks.
No, the last one was because Job didn't answer all the questions or something like that. But the game was for Job.
For some reason or other, Job didn't answer, but it was left on me to choose.
I reckon with you or something.
Yeah, and I chose Mr. Bolden.
Well, if you hang on, I can pull those files so we can discuss.
Play that game for real.
I can. I'm just gonna pull the pictures. I'm not. We don't have to play the game.
Get ready because you're in this game.
Please no. Please no.
It was a very tasteful picture.
It was a very tasteful picture. I always choose very tasteful pictures, but I also kind of got mad. Make sure don't choose the right one.
Yeah, he was very.
Boy, why?
I ain't gonna choose me.
He chose the right one.
See?
Oh, I choose me.
So
I chose Gary for this one.
I mean, but I only win because of the posture. Like,
I would choose IQ because I can see thighs and legs. I don't want this skinny boy with the Lakers jersey.
First of all, it was Aaron who said that Gary had a pretty dick.
I
would choose Fat Rabbit because
Fat Rabbit ain't fucking this hole up.
What's going on here?
I would choose it because of the pubes.
No, but have you seen Fat Rabbit's videos? I don't think you want to choose this. You need to be careful with that.
I saw it, but I don't want him to fuck me. No, but
well, you ain't gonna. Are you gonna? You can't top him.
Who said?
He said.
He also don't release his. Oh, girl. I'm muting myself.
I feel like yeah.
We're talking about dicks or butts, holes.
Which one would take this down, Dwayne, real quick? Which one would you do an OnlyFans video with? You want to do all of them?
I do.
Let me say this: we're gonna choose. No, you know what? Let's choose Jay Smith. That's the one. Yeah,
that's my choice.
But there was a trick to this too.
Why?
Well, Dwayne is random stuff, so I don't know what's going on here.
What's the trick to this?
Random stuff. This
I can't do because I know what Dwayne's doing, so I don't know.
Jay Smith was showing his dick.
No. This was a part of that game.
It was, but there was a trick to this game too.
No, it wasn't. It was who has an OnlyFans page?
Yeah,
that was the guess. That's not what we're talking about now.
We're talking about who has OnlyFans.
That's not what we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about who you would screw, clearly, because that was the topic of the conversation. Who you would screw? That's what Easy said.
Yeah, I didn't hear that for her. I was like, I know. I thought should I play that game too.
No, I said I would just pull the pictures so we can have a reference. That's all I was doing.
Well, I would do McNasty, honestly.
Okay. Are we talking about topping them or bottoming them?
We'd be versatile.
The church is quiet, honey.
I
still Jay Smith or whatever his name is, not McNasty.
Ass and he hasn't made a dick. I would do both.
Oh my goodness.
Jay Smith.
What?
Somebody said Fat Rabbit is a rapist. Like, oh Lord. I don't play with that. I don't play with that road rapist like too.
It is It's scary.
I'm only a guest here.
Oh my lord!
I do not have legal representation in this chat.
Right.
Right.
Let's ask
Tyrone and Janelle.
But wait. Let's ask IQ this one. If you could do an OnlyFans video with either one of these couples, which one would you do it with?
Yeah. So I'm not even gonna front here. It'll be left. Tyrone and Janelle.
Okay.
You gonna be the bottom, sis?
He don't know. It's a couple.
First of all, I'm not looking into the science of it. I'm looking into the appeal of it. And that's where the appeal lives more than the other side. It's like
that's a real businessman.
I was about to say that was a political answer, like I don't know what.
But it's a couple. How would you decide what you're gonna be a top or bottom either?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they're rigid in their roles just because they come into pocket. I don't care what their situation is when it's just the two of them.
So you would.
Neither.
Yeah, no. It's a no for me.
On both?
Mostly a no.
All right. Well, I think that is that on that.
That's that on that. We've
I feel like the last one was too like, I don't know. I could choose one, but that's only if like you have to. I just
if you had to choose.
So basically, IQ said if he was to set it up, he would call out sick at the last minute.
If you had to choose one, which one would you choose?
What?
Do I have any sick days?
If you had to choose one, which one would you choose?
I'd probably go right.
If I had to choose like life or death, I would go with left because they have some very appealing videos.
Which one is that?
The light skin and the dark skin guy. They have some very nice videos.
See, I'm not going for any prior knowledge. I'm just going based on picture on the menu.
I'll go with Mustang.
The people, two of the ones that you chose don't even have OnlyFans pages. So.
All right. Well, is that on that?
That is that on that.
This was an amazing anniversary situation. One, we want to thank you guys for coming on this.
Y'all made me drink on a work night. Y'all made me drink on a work night.
Well, we thank you for coming on with us. You and Sharif for coming on with us, having a good time with us. This is our last episode for 2020. So
my drink's gone.
My drink.
Out of 5 months. But we want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. It was amazing. Everyone who's on the panel tonight, thank you guys for being a part of our podcast because you guys have been actually a very important part of our podcast. Make sure you guys go to thefaceofheartpodcast.com where you can find out more updates with us. We're not going to be back until January. So make sure everyone who knows that we have the podcast, we're not going to be back until January. Follow us on The Affairs of Heart on Instagram, Affairs of Heart on Facebook, and ALTH Podcast on Twitter. And I think that's pretty much it. On following us, again, I just want to say thank you guys so much for supporting this podcast. I think I said enough. Dwayne.
Aaron has already said thank you. I do want to reiterate, I do have a panel discussion series is coming up this week on my platform for Swank Arts and Entertainment. It is a panel discussion with the LGBTQIA plus community. Each night I'm sitting down with a group of different people. Tomorrow night is the guys' night. It's the gay night. So we're just going to hash some conversations about our experiences in the community. Then Tuesday night I'm sitting down with some lesbians and we're going to talk about their experience and the cognitive dissonance between gay men and lesbians. And then I'll follow that up with a conversation with some a trans man and a trans woman, and let's talk about why, how we can be better supportive of the trans community. So make sure you look out for that on all of my platform areas. There it is. There, yep, right there. Again, like Aaron said, thank you guys so much for supporting us. This is Affairs of the Heart for 2020. Yes, Aaron.
One thing I want to give a shout out to Kiva West, every straight guy's favorite gay guy, Gary Lavard, Sharif. Am I forgetting someone?
Who else have we had on? I think that's
everyone who was support. Oh, and also, they don't even the show anymore. But shout out to my brother Phil from Philly for their show. Everybody who came onto our show for the first season. Definitely want to give you guys a shout out, and also a very, 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 very special thanks to EzSaidEzDone. Without you, we don't have an after show. So definitely give you a shout out. But I want to thank everyone who's came on to the show. I hope I didn't forget anybody, but you guys have been very instrumental to our podcast. Sharif, I definitely want to give you a shout out because Dwayne was like, I'm like, Dwayne, we do a podcast. Sharif was like, I'm taking these pictures. I'm like, we came to Sharif, honestly, a real short story. And we didn't have to change clothes because Sharif was like, y'all got on, it matches, like just where it is. And so we literally did not even plan what we were going to put on for the pictures for the podcast. Sharif was like, this matches, we did it. So that was very dope. Again, IQ Will, thank you for what you've done for our podcast. And so everyone
stand there.
I just want to thank you guys, everyone, for real.
IQ, thank you for your ass and your dick. We appreciate it.
Somebody had to.
Thank you for the cover pictures.
We appreciate you. But I think that has been. Is that everything, Aaron? We're out of here for 2020.
That's 2020. We will be back in January.
Look for all new aesthetics in January 2021. Guys, be safe. Wear your masks. And please, 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 as you go through these holidays, check on your friends, your strong friends, because this is the most depressing time of year for most people. So please check on everybody that's connected to you. Even though we're going through this pandemic, it's way worse as the holidays are a hard. Yes, Aaron. God damn.
I'm sorry, one thing. Because you just said that. I don't know if you guys heard what I did for Thanksgiving, though. But for Thanksgiving, I did do something where people who are by themselves have opportunity to just think of things to do while you're by yourself. Because I've been through that before. So I know we didn't do a podcast for that, but I give tips out for doing things on holidays by yourself. So check that out if you are by yourself on holidays, because
please,
it's a very hard time for people who are by themselves. And I really want to stress that for real. We didn't have a podcast for that week, so I did that because I wanted to make sure that our listeners had something to have.
All right. So check on your friends. And if you need some friends, you can always reach out to us, the Affairs of the Heart podcast. We will see you all next year. Happy New Year, and strive to be the best you that you possibly can be. We love you guys, and we'll see you in 2021. Take care.